And we're back with the hard launch of the QBC Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Aiden Quilter. I'm here with Ryan Carvalho and Ryan Landry, and we are in the Everlasting Veteran Podcast. Both of you, welcome.
How's it
Obviously,
Thanks, I live here.
this is Ryan Landry's studio. As viewers will know, he has his own podcast, the Everlasting Veteran Podcast. Today we are without AJ.
AJ Burgess, sad loss.
He's
Sick.
not feeling great.
Mm-hmm.
But a little bit about ourselves, as we're a new podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Our motto is keeping kids in sports, because as time goes on, youth sports are declining and kids are going on and deciding to start or to do other things, which that's a good thing. But when you really think about it in the long run, sports is such a big part of children's lives.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a big part of the three of us, our lives, right? Like it was like baseball for me is the center of my heart.
Exactly.
Like that's how I live, basically.
And a lot about communities too is that a lot of sports come like communities, fan bases, the things they've done for each other is crazy. And it just trying to promote that to kids that are growing up, that sports can help you make friends and be a part of something that's bigger than just yourself is really big for me.
And the whole basically the whole entire this started off as supposed to be a school project.
It was basically
and now
a joke.
We were a non-video podcast, knowing nothing about podcast, recording on this phone right here.
In the middle of a study hall.
Middle of a class with 20 kids in it.
Mm-hmm.
We would prop our phone up on in a bin.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mr. Galante and Coach Glennie, shout out to both of them, suggested that we go down to our school's media center and that's where me, Ryan, and AJ, we met probably one of the best people that we could meet at that time, and that was Mrs. Smith. None of us had a relationship with her yet, and she got us this jump into just giving us this designated day where there were times where people where people would ask her if they can stay after school for that day in that studio, and she would say no, and we wouldn't have had booked that day yet.
Yeah.
And we went from recording 3 times a day or 3 times a week to 1 to none. And now we're here and we met Ryan Landry, who has blessed us with this whole entire
experience.
Exactly.
Give us a new step in this process.
Teaching us all we know. And
so instead of a little iPhone in a bin, now we have all this.
Some road mics and
Well, I think it's important to allow anybody to inspire or aspire to do something, right? And the biggest thing I saw from you guys is your drive, will, and determination to talk about sports, and your avenue of approach is to keep kids in sports, right? So it's not just getting together with your group of friends, putting a podcast together. There's a passion behind it, right? And when we first sat down, I told you, I said, listen, it's not going to be easy, right? Scheduling, all this other stuff. But the thing is when you guys were doing the broadcasting for the Schooners, talking about sports, then you guys were doing episodes, but you guys weren't doing it to the scale at which this is, right? And just allowing you guys to be able to spread your wings. And I appreciate you guys allowing me to be on the first episode, because I gave you the option, right? It's not my show, it's your guys' show, but I think it's important people understand, if we help each other out, right? Even if it's just a little hand here and there to be able to assist you going in the direction you want to go in, and you guys are still in high school, right? I have adult money, right? I've built a business where I have a platform where, I can supply my time and my equipment, right, for something you guys are super passionate about, right? And that's that's what it's all about. I left earlier today. I was texting you guys. I was at Ledger Youth football game. My daughter cheers. The boys used to play sports. I used to run Ledger baseball. I used to coach. That's how I met your dad.
Yeah.
So youth sports is something of a passion of mine as well. And when you guys told me your slogan of keeping kids in sports, it's so important on so many dimensions, right? The deeper side of it is allowing kids to socialize in a proper way, drive and focus, and having good role models to shape your life.
Yeah.
Right. And give you that direction, And I think that especially here in Ledyard, we really try to mold our youth, and it literally is, a village, right? There's so many people throughout the town. We're so close and connected that I think it's important that we all come together on some aspect.
Yeah.
Right. And my little part that I can do in this world is allow somebody to have a platform to step up onto, and I'm not, a big shot or anything like that. But if I have the time and resources, why not provide?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, and you guys, your banter back and forth is hilarious. He thinks that Ledyard High School doesn't have windows.
I mean,
well, no, Ledyard High School has windows, but they're not made of glass.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. But you guys, you have the energy, right? You have the energy. I listened to some of your audio stuff, and it started off as a school project, right?
One mic,
no
headphones, and a school purchased recording / video editing form. And now we're here using this.
It's a lot different.
Yeah.
It's
would you guys, obviously first episode, official launch in a video podcast realm professionally, right?
Yeah.
You guys have done other episodes. I don't want to discredit that.
Yeah.
And that's why when I talk to your dad and stuff, and I'm like, no, they got it. I listen to their episodes. It takes a lot for this to go into it, and it's you guys just need a space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you guys can do the dynamic, I would love to be a guest at some point, when you guys blow up and everything, but it's not my show, but I wanted, viewers and listeners to understand that what the connection is.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And, it's just one of those things for me is podcasting is conversation.
Exactly.
Conversation creates connection.
Yeah.
And what you guys are doing is amazing. And let's get into the show.
Yeah.
All right.
That was great. Start us off.
So just as mentioned before, we get really into this. We are a sports-based podcast with we're just buddies pretty much.
If we didn't have the podcast, we'd still be having these conversations all the time.
A few terms that you might hear is honestly I think it's just one, and it's Kansas soup.
Yeah.
Because at this point through the school, we all know that in sports, gambling is
very prominent.
There on the,
very prominent,
right? That's a big thing. And
we had guidelines we had to follow with using the library stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest guidelines that we had to follow was we couldn't mention anything about gambling, no cursing, anything like that.
No drugs, no gambling.
Exactly. So instead of saying, oh, we're going to put a lot of money on a team winning, we said we're going to put a lot of Kansas soup on it. And it was just something that stuck, and we've been doing it since. So, getting to our first topic now.
We got
something
Tua Tagovailoa coming back.
You said that last name so well. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
It was a rough injury he suffered a couple weeks ago.
After refusing to wear a Guardian cap now, he actually seems to be not really bothered by
not at all
a thought of having a concussion, of re-injuring himself, and more than likely having to medically retire due to a doctor's note saying that he has to.
Yeah.
Because that was his third in 3 years?
I think fourth. Yeah.
So, one, he should be done now.
He should 100%.
He should have been done after his second.
Yeah.
But, you have to think, and as a quarterback of his caliber, shown who hasn't played. He has, but he really hasn't played up to that exact where he was in college.
Exactly.
You have to think, but still, what's going on through his head during his return after.
What I saw a lot was that he was sliding a lot more often. He was going down a lot more instead of like going into the hits that he did when he got the concussion. He's sliding a lot more before he actually has to make those hits.
But the Dolphins did decide to stick with the running game.
Yeah, a lot more.
Showed, but
150 rush yards in total.
Yeah, Tua's stats today actually pretty prominent,
especially for a comeback game that they ran the ball more than 50% of the time. It was a lot.
So Tua went 28 for 38, which is a 73 passing or a passing rating, which is actually really good.
Yeah.
For 234 yards and a touchdown.
The only thing though was that they didn't win the game. Tua didn't do bad. No interceptions, no fumbles. It was a pretty good offensive game, but they still didn't pull it out. A minute left.
So I mean, we're not even at like a fantasy football segment yet, and I don't really foresee us getting into one. Yeah. But just basing it off of fantasy football points, Jalen Waddle has not performed once this year.
No, Jalen Waddle, as just a receiver alone, has not performed to the expectation that he did last year. And when you have a receiving core that has Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and even Braxton Berrios, who's a pretty good, solid guy, 5-tool type of guy, and a good running back room with Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane, you expect, these skill guys are going to put out stuff that's going to make this offense run for the ringer. They didn't today. And
how I feel it is that Jalen Waddle has hit a wall.
Yes, 100%.
Why do you think he's hit a wall? Like what do you think's impacting that and creating that wall, that barrier you can't get through?
I think it's just him, like an off year. Yeah. Like I feel like
compared to what he did the past years, he's not being able to meet those expectations. Injuries too. He's been injury riddled, not as serious. But the thing is that, it's fatigue over the season. We're mid-season to the point. He's had 2 injuries that have taken him off the field and out of the game. So now you're at the point where can Waddle perform at what he used to be with this much fatigue, with this much pressure, and a quarterback who just came back from a concussion, his 4th concussion in the past 3 years.
There's such a mental like block mindset thing that goes into that, especially with athletes. Injuries, fatigue. They used to play at a certain caliber. And then now, they're hit with all this stuff and they're not able to perform the same,
exactly,
And what do you think, like, because of last year was such a good performance, like, what do you think now is drawing that other than the fatigue? You think it's a mindset thing?
I think it's a little bit more the mindset because he sets himself to be at that expectation. Well, I did this last year. I should be doing more than that this year. And now that he's not doing that, he's looking at himself, getting in his own head. He can't run the routes correctly. He's not catching balls. He has like 6 drops in one game. That should never happen for a receiver at that caliber.
I think there's also the problem with Tua being out. They put in what was his name?
Skylar Thompson.
And then they got someone else too.
Tyler Huntley.
So those two they
were nowhere near Tua.
Exactly. And Jalen Waddle, we're going after this week, it's week 9. So these past 8 games, Jalen Waddle has had 1 good game. And that was where he had rushing yards and that got him fantasy.
Yeah, points. Because a lot of the times they do jet sweeps and they have these weird plays and formations where they be doing a ton of stuff just to, get around the ringer. And that's how the Miami's offense has worked a lot. The thing is that it's very fast paced. So guys like Tyreek, Jalen, and Devon Achane, they're fast guys. So that's why they use them in that playbook.
So after it's week 8 now, so they've played 7 games because they had an early bye week. So he is under. So currently he has 269 receiving yards
for the past 8 games.
Yes, out of the past 7.
That's very low. That is very low.
His total last year was 1,000.
Exactly. So
he's a fifth of the way there, and the season is almost halfway done.
Exactly. It's compared to last year, it's a very big drop off, and you could blame the QB play, but at the same time, as a receiver, he's gotten open a lot less. His routes have ran a lot more sloppy, and he has more drops than last year. And it's a mental thing. It's a fatigue thing. And a lot of the times, it's just coaching trying to be like, hey, why can't you be like this? You were like this last year. What's different from last year? And he doesn't really know what to tell the coaches because he doesn't know why.
So looking at stats now, going through these 7 games, he's averaging about 4 targets a game.
Mm-hmm.
That is tight end numbers.
Exactly.
And he has 22 receptions, and he's yet to score a touchdown. there's a problem there where he needs to really step up and be that wide receiver too.
Exactly.
Because Tyreek Hill can't do it all.
And when they put their best, like if you're going against PS2 or some really good corner, he's going to be locked up. They're going to put double team on him. They're going to put a safety on him. And then
they're going to force Jalen Waddle to play that Tyreek Hill down the field, across the field routes.
Exactly. And if Jalen Waddle can't do that, that leaves a very limited options for the QB, whether it be whether it be Skylar Thompson. It leaves a lot less options for the quarterback play. And now that we see Tua come back, will that increase? Will that decrease? Will the Jalen Waddle get more repetition inside of the offense, or is that going to stay where it is right now, which is tight end numbers?
And don't get me wrong, you have a guy like Tyreek Hill who is not tall for being an outside wide receiver. He is a big,
he's more of a speedy guy.
So he's buff. He's definitely a big guy.
He's strong, but he can't win the jump ball.
He'll never win that. So his speed is the only thing that really helps him. Jalen Waddle, he's not super tall.
He's not like a DK Metcalf type of height.
So when he has to fill that role as basically wide receiver one, he's the outside receiver. Like, he has to get down the field. He has to run the deep posts. He has to run through instead of just playing the slot like he's been all year. He needs to fill in for Tyreek Hill, which is really hard for him to do. He's a lot slower. Jalen Waddle, don't get me wrong, he's fast, but he's a lot slower than Tyreek
compared
Hill.
to Tyreek Hill.
Exactly. He's not as physical, because don't get me wrong, Tyreek Hill might be small, but he's definitely physical. Tyreek Hill is able to get off the line, and he is able to come at a defender and break away. And that's even just with his hands. Like, he'll just push away and he'll go, because that's a legal move. Exactly. But then you got Jalen Waddle, who's just kind of expected to get down the field.
Nonetheless, I think that we saw with Tua, now that he's back off the concussion, I wonder if Mike McDaniels thought we're going to stay on the ground today, because he was worried about using Tua. Because using Tua, I mean, they saw him in practice the week going into here, but still using him, he's 4 concussions deep now. His brain's not the same he was 4 concussions ago. So you have to try to mitigate the use of him to as little as you can. And I think that's what Mike McDaniels was thinking.
And then I think that running game plan was smart. I mean, didn't get them the win, but it was smart.
It was way better than just airing it out every single time, especially when Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are not performing to that exact level.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Tua comes back and he does his job basically, but the Miami defense just can't hold out in the last quarter.
Well, I think one big thing with any sports or team or anything like that, the dynamic changes so much when a lot is relied and the expectations are on like great players and they get hurt and they come back and they don't perform like they used to.
Exactly.
Right. And it changes the whole dynamic of the team, right? Because the mismanage of the expectations for that player, right? There's limitations possibly now, you see through some of the greats, they work through it and you never know. Right. But then you also have ones where they get put back on the field or they get put back in play and they're truly not ready to come back sometimes. Right. And because they got a contract, they got to perform, people are coming to see them, everything else. There's a lot outside factors that are pushing them to do that.
And I think a good example of that instead of Tua is definitely Carson Wentz.
100%.
He got hurt and I think he's probably been a guaranteed starter. He played for the Colts. He started for the Colts, and then he hasn't started since.
No, it's been a while.
He's sitting bench behind Patrick Mahomes.
But Tua comes back. He does his job. Miami defense can't hold out in the fourth. The Cardinals win it, and just letting you know, I had the Cardinals winning it. So, congrats to me.
You put money on it?
No, I had it
because
the pick.
You're underage.
I had the picks. Yes.
So actually, we'll just talk about that right now as we're talking about picks. Anyone who follows our Instagram, which is
Instagram, TikTok, or even on our Snapchat,
it's QBC_sports_podcast on Instagram. I don't know the other ones by heart.
Yeah, but
we do post our own picks. We make the 3 of us make 3 picks a week, and then we decide on a game of the week. And so
this
right
game
now
of the week is Bears versus Commanders.
So as Ryan pulls these up, I'll just kind of describe.
If you want, right now, by the way, the Commanders are down 12-0. Just letting you know now. So
there goes my week.
Rough. Yeah, but speaking, I don't think we need the exact picks, but it's really something fun we do. because we love trying to see who wins and who doesn't. And right now, I'll tell you the rankings of who's in first and second. Currently, AJ's in first with 13-3.
I'm
Coulter's in
12-4.
Yeah, and I'm 7-9. So it's been a rough couple weeks, but recently now, luckily, I've gotten a little better at it, and now I'm up 2-0. So hopefully I can get above 500 before end of week 8. But nonetheless, moving on to the next topic. Just gotta make sure, yes, we get that. And moving on to the next topic, the Browns upset the Ravens.
Yes.
29 points to 26. It was a very, very tight game. I'm not kidding. It was serious. And it came down to the quarterback of the Browns, Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston, holy crap. Round of applause for that guy.
Yeah, give him a round of applause for that.
Jameis Winston came back after not starting since September 29th, 2022.
It's been over 2 years since he started the game.
He played very
lights out. I can't lie. No turnovers.
I'm sorry, September 25th.
Yeah, no turnovers, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, and over 50% completion rating, around like 68. So
he really just proved himself there on why.
After Deshaun Watson came out and the whole season has been underperforming, I could tell you without a doubt that Jameis Winston should have been a starter from week 1. And they showed the Browns can be a good football team. They just need the right guy at the helm. If they just beat a top 5 team in the NFL.
Exactly.
And if you because think about the receivers. Now that Amari Cooper's gone, it's a little different, but they still got a lot of weapons. They have one of the greatest defenses. I won't lie with you. Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward. There's a lot of good people on that roster, but they falter because Deshaun Watson just didn't perform to his expectations.
You know who totally fell off this year? Chase Young.
Chase Young, 100%. Yeah, it's been rough. He's on the Saints now, and the Saints as a whole haven't been doing that great. So, but nonetheless, the Browns winning here has a big thing for the team because now you were sitting at 1-5. Now you're 2-5. What's the plan here? Where are you
just keep winning?
Exactly, because
they're gonna roll with Jameis Winston, and
that's all you can do.
And all they're gonna do is play Jameis Winston football. They're not gonna play Browns football because it showed today that. And Nick Chubb's on his way back.
Exactly.
Give him another week or 2, and he's back.
Exactly.
We don't know exactly when, but he'll be back. And when he comes back,
I mean, he's playing now.
Is he back?
Yeah, he's back.
I thought.
He's not to his full count snap, but he's back. He scored his first touchdown against the Bengals. He's been
really?
Yeah, Nick Chubb. Yeah, it was a pretty big thing because he did like a full Batman return, and it was really cool. I really liked it because he did it like Batman coming back to Gotham. It was really cool.
I did see that. Yeah. Never mind. Now I'm backtracking and remembering.
Yeah.
But still, either way, you have a guy.
Yeah.
Like Nick Chubb and now Jameis Winston, who came in and played Jameis Winston football, did not definitely want the Browns playbook, obviously, because that's what the Browns know. But if you really think about it, Jameis Winston played his football that he played with the Bucs.
Yeah.
When he was in his prime with the Buccaneers, he proved
the deep ball. The deep ball was used a lot more.
Exactly.
Read options. He was taking the football every time. He was taking the ball. He ran pretty well too. Yeah. And the thing with it is that when you look at this division, the AFC North, it's a really, really competitive division. It always will be. But you think about it, the Ravens are 5-2. Now they're 5-3. The Steelers are 5-2 still, because they play on Monday night. The Bengals have fallen, and the Browns are now 2-5. The Bengals are now like 2-6 or something. So the fact is you look at it, is that are the Browns competitive for the playoffs, especially with Jameis Winston behind the helm? And how does this affect Baltimore as a whole? Because you're just coming off of a good win, and now you're looking at it. Now you're 5-3. That's not great for the playoffs. That's not looking great right now in midseason.
Yeah, but a 2-6,
2-6,
like on the Browns.
The Browns are 2-6.
2-6, that's not a good start.
They have to win out, basically. Yeah. If they want to have a good shot. But
I mean, we've seen bigger upsets, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm a Pats fan.
Yeah.
Through and through. I always have been growing up. Pats, Red Sox.
Yeah.
I got a Yankees guy in the house. Yeah. It is what it is. The love of the sport, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that the Browns it's one of those teams like how the Red Sox weren't like
cursed.
Yeah, they were cursed, right? The Browns had a stain.
Yeah.
No pun intended for a while.
Yeah.
Right? They had a
brown stain.
They had a brown stain for a while. So it's just that era of that franchise's time to be able to make something of the franchise.
Yeah, that's what we saw in 2020 with Baker Mayfield. They made the playoffs for the first time.
But you know what's kind of funny to me? I feel like Jameis Winston just like him and Baker Mayfield just totally switched roles.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield has been playing like prime Jameis Winston with the Bucs this year.
Yeah,
Jameis Winston Baker Mayfield has looked great this year.
And both of them started really hot in their career, then got shipped off, and then now they
kind of fell off.
They
fell
off.
Winston.
Remember, he was.
I keep saying Jameis Winston. I mean Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's having.
Don't forget, Baker Mayfield was in Carolina and Los Angeles for a point, being a backup. Now he's the starting quarterback that has $200 million.
I forgot about that.
He was left behind. He was forgotten. Same thing with Winston. I mean, Winston hasn't had a strongest comeback.
Forgotten? Quarterback from Georgia.
What?
He's on the Rams.
Stetson Bennett. Okay. Yeah.
What happened to him?
Nothing crazy because
just because he's
like his third year in his league.
I know. Is it just because he's behind Stafford?
Yes. It's because Stafford's the $400 million quarterback and Stetson is the backup. I don't even think I think he's practice squad. He's
got to be by now. Right?
I think there's somebody else behind him.
I'd be that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they get paid good money.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Like some of them get paid good money and they just practice.
Practice squads are, I mean, you have to work really hard to make a team, and then practice squad. Yeah, there's no pressure on you really. There's pressure on you to perform during practice because then you get cut if you don't. But practice squad there's an upside and there's a really downside because you're not like the starter's not treated like a starter. But nonetheless, the Browns upset the Ravens in elite fashion with Jameis Winston. So we'll see how that affects the Ravens.
How do you think Winston's attitude is with his other teammates?
It shows. It's great. He's
always been a fun guy.
He's a locker room guy.
Yeah, I mean, but what about the chastising some of the teammates on the sidelines? I mean, do you think that it's being portrayed wrong and it's more of a motivational thing?
Yes,
right. Yeah, or do you think that like he has a chip?
I think he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he was casted out during the Saints. He was benched in New Orleans, and now he's showing out. I mean, first game as a starter in 2 years, and he balls out. It's showing to people that it was wrong for them to just leave him behind because he had 1 or 2 bad games.
Yep.
So I think a lot with the locker room. Deshaun was the set starter going to the season. He was the starter for 8 weeks. He didn't play great. So whether they're very upset still that Deshaun is hurt or they're really happy now that Jameis is playing better than Deshaun and he's the guaranteed starter now is the question of how will Deshaun be treated when he comes back, because Deshaun's not going away from the Browns. He's got a $240 million contract that they have to pay.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
$240 million. Just think about that.
But if he gets one more allegation, even if he's proven not guilty, it gets taken away. If
he gets arrested, then it's termination.
Which now with him getting this Achilles injury, like guaranteed, like he's probably going to get at least one massage, and that's what's been happening is the massage. So he gets the nickname Massage Watson.
He's on his, by the way, counter. He's on his 35th. So it's not looking great for him.
It's crazy to me. A lot of these players, and especially as of late, like the standards I feel have been lowered.
Yes.
Right. They're not held to.
Yeah.
I mean, they are to a certain extent. If it becomes such an outcry.
Yeah.
Right. They'll do something about it. But the NFL really has lowered their standards for saying, you do this. And it's kind of across a lot of sports lately.
Yeah.
Because of viewership and everything else. That's what pushes a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But it is absolutely distasteful and a disgrace to a franchise when you have somebody getting paid $240 million and you just can't show up and do your job.
Exactly.
100%.
But then, like, what I'm thinking is you get a guy like Trevor Bauer in the MLB.
Yeah.
He has bounced around the JPL, the Japan Baseball League. He's just won the Mexican Cy Young this year.
Mm-hmm.
He has literally
he's done great.
like he
He's
was
proven he should be a major league player.
proven non-guilty.
Yeah.
His
cases were dismissed. So
Exactly.
it's just the reputation. That's the only reason
Yeah.
why the teams won't sign him, is because they're scared of having that reputation. Hey, you signed this guy that was almost arrested. And I think that's distasteful when he's proven not guilty.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think, especially coming from like a police world to like not being a police, and I do think that you need to, and this is the old saying of you're guilty by association,
Yeah.
right? Or you're guilty by your surroundings, right?
Mhm.
Don't put yourself in that situation,
Yeah.
right? If they have the mindset,
Mhm.
right? They have the mindset and the wherewithal to be like, I just shouldn't do this because I'm in the camp, I'm in the news, I'm getting
Exactly.
paid this, I'm holding myself, right,
To a higher
a
standard.
personal expectation to a higher standard because I'm a representation of this brand.
And bouncing off of that, was a big thing that I don't like about the NFL league, is the fact that Rashid Rice, all right, he got into a car accident for speeding. He was going way too fast, and I believe he killed a person. Did he not? I
don't
think
know.
someone was
Henry
severely
Ruggs
injured.
killed a person.
I remember.
that.
Wait, what?
Rashid Rice.
I'll look
Rashid-
it up right now.
He was going like 150 on the highway, and something really bad happened. And now he was suspended. He wasn't even suspended for like one game. I don't remember him being suspended at all. But Calvin Ridley, 2 years ago, he went on a gambling spree and gambled on his own team. He was suspended for a whole year. But you have guys like Rashid Rice that actually do crimes and they're not suspended.
Touchdown DeAndre Swift.
You're really happy about that.
I'm so
Oh, is
happy.
he? Oh, he's on my. Nonetheless, I just don't get how Rashid Rice, who got into an accident and committed an actual crime, is not suspended at all. But then you have a guy like Calvin Ridley that's like 3 times and he's out for the whole year. And Deshaun Watson too. He had a bunch of allegations, out for 7 games.
And then you look at Henry Ruggs.
Yeah.
Guy did the same exact thing. He killed someone.
Exactly.
And if Rashid Rice killed someone, why is he let back?
Exactly.
And that honestly just stirs up more conversation of how the NFL does just benefit the Chiefs out of any other team.
I think it's the Chiefs, and I also just think it's skill players overall, because I see a lot of guys, like you see linemen in them. There's a lot of linemen that get suspended that you don't see, and defensive players too.
They don't talk about them.
Exactly. I've never seen I didn't even know that our middle linebacker, Javon Kinlaw, he was suspended for 4 games because he was caught at a bar and fought someone. I never saw that on a single ESPN report. I only learned that because he wasn't on the field the day of the game.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of he fought somebody, he did a criminal action and no one talked about it. But when these skill players do it, 1, they have a ton of media surrounding it. And then 2, they don't get penalized unless it's something that goes against the league. Like gambling on a league, that's costing the league money. So that's why he got penalized more than actual crime. But nonetheless,
kids, don't commit crime.
Please don't. I'd love it if you didn't.
Thank you.
All right, so I pulled the article up, NBC5. So it was 2. It looks like him and a friend were. So Rice was doing 119 miles per hour.
Yeah, he was going fast.
Top speed. And Knox was doing 116 miles per hour. And seconds before the crash, 91 miles per hour.
No.
And I mean, why? Go to a racetrack.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, you gotta speculate, right? That maybe alcohol was involved.
Something like that.
It was proven that he was.
I didn't read through this whole article, but
I think a person died. I remember seeing something. I think somebody might have died. I might be thinking of Jalen Carter.
Aggravated assault, 1 count of collision involving serious bodily injury, and 6 counts of colliding involving injury in connection with the crash on March 30th.
And not a single game suspended. Not a single one. I think that's just horrible.
This is the most gut-wrenching thing.
Yeah.
Right? The crash reports lists 4 other cars involved in the collision with 8 occupants ranging from the ages of 3 to 54.
Exactly. It's horrible. And the NFL didn't do anything about it. He committed an actual crime.
So looking at this now too, because I decided to look it up, everyone else was minor injuries.
Minor injuries?
That's why he got away with it.
Yeah. It's
And
horrible.
then he took responsibility, and then he like publicly apologized, and then he also turned himself in, which makes him look like already.
I knew what I did bad, but you still did something really bad.
And then,
well, I mean, you got to think about this, right? He more than likely, if not like 100%, had the factor of the franchise pushing him to do what he needed to do legally, right? And he was probably said, "Hey, if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen."
But if you do
this,
in,
and you go through, and they got the money for the attorneys and everything else, right?
Exactly.
So there's the advisement of that, right? And he's going to do. He can't go far, right? He can't go far. He's a known name.
Yep.
Like he's can't run, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're gonna find you.
They're gonna find you, right? But he's also got to look at it this way, and I'm sure this went through his mind, like, "Oh crap, my career is over.
Yeah,
I got to do everything I'm supposed to, right?" But there should be more to it,
exactly.
right? Why isn't there? Or is the case still pending?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe that could be it, right? The case is still pending, and then there's a punishment after.
But
right?
This is the thing: is that it's unequal compared to other cases like this. Like Henry Ruggs, he was gone. He was kicked out.
Well, I think that any time that any sports player getting paid millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
And this is my personal opinion. I want you guys to kind of weigh on this a little bit.
Yeah.
Is if you have allegations and you're in like court and you have stuff going on, you should probably immediately face suspension without pay and concluding your legal stuff.
Yeah.
Rashi Rice also assaulted a cameraman.
I'm not shocked.
In Dallas, same place where he crashed. So my guess is if it's not alcohol, because I'm pretty sure it was.
He's on some substance.
He attacked this,
or he has mental health issues.
Too.
Which I mean,
you can see it on the field. He does act erratic.
Which I hope he gets help if that's the case.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it can't. It can't be like, oh, it's justified, right?
Yeah.
He's got something going on. No, it's not okay. Like without structure, without structure, there's chaos.
Oh, and it was it was a hit and run.
Yeah,
His crash was a hit and
he
run.
ran.
Yeah.
So then it doesn't really matter if you turn yourself in. You did the hit and run. You didn't stay at the crash. You left.
So his case
probably because he was drunk.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, or like he thought he wasn't going to get caught.
Exactly.
Or he freaked out.
Yeah.
Right. There's so many factors. We can Monday morning quarterback it all day long.
Yeah.
Typically, what I would see from policing is somebody runs either they don't have insurance, they don't have a license, they're under the influence, whatever the case may be. There's some other factor of why they run.
It just doesn't run the run.
Right. If you're doing 116 miles an hour and you hit another car, right?
One, you're lucky you can get away.
Yeah. Like, I'm surprised that car was still functional.
Exactly.
Like, 119. The other one was 160.
Yeah.
But that is moving,
Mm-hmm.
right? The fact that the car was still in enough pieces to be able to go down the road, like, is mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, the Lions blowout versus Titans.
Yeah, it was a rough one for the Titans.
The pride came at them.
Yeah, it was a rough one. The Lions, what do you call it? The Titans now fall to 1-6. They just got a new head coach after they fired Mike Vrabel, which, if anything else,
I don't understand it.
Exactly. If anything else shows to me that Mike Vrabel was better in Tennessee, is that right now they were 5-2, 5-3, something like that. Now they're 1-6. Like, as a football team, how is that acceptable that you get rid of your head coach? Your quarterback is playing horrible. He has a new funny moment every single time, which is not a good look on you as a franchise because you're just losing and losing and losing, and your quarterback looks like a 5-year-old child. You just
no. Have you seen the memes?
You have to go look at the photos. Sometimes he'd be just like squinting.
I love how blunt he is.
Right? It's true.
And we were going to play that video, like him going off in the middle of the night. Like, your bluntness is amazing.
Because people have their jobs in the world. People work at, office jobs, and people get paid millions of dollars to do their job on baseball or football. And if you don't perform and you're lazy with it, I find it distasteful when there's people that work hard and they do their job.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against Will Levis. Will Levis has done a lot during his college games, but you can't tell me
He
that
puts mayo in coffee.
exactly. You can't tell me he's not a 5-year-old at heart. And then you
Did you just say mayo and coffee?
Yeah,
He
you
does.
haven't seen that?
on draft day.
And he has a mayonnaise scented cologne.
Yep.
Like Hellman's the mayo brand.
Mhm.
They like partnered with a cologne brand, and it's called Levis. And they
Mhm.
made a whole cologne commercial, and it's a mayo scented.
How have I not heard about this?
It's
I don't know.
really weird. No, it's
Mayo in coffee?
in draft day. He had a cup of coffee, poured mayo in there, and just stirred it.
Do you think because of like the sponsorship and stuff, it was kind of
No.
like
He showed there was photos of him doing it when he was 15, 14. He's been doing it since he was a child. No one knows. He just does it. He's such a weird quarterback.
I'm speechless.
I
don't even know what
I don't
know what to
tell you. I really don't know. I saw it and I thought, it can't be that bad. And then I thought about it later that night. I'm like, mayonnaise? Why?
Yeah, your first thought wasn't like what?
Milk, sugar. I mean, there's some crazy things you can put in coffee.
Your first thought was couldn't be that bad. Like what?
Well, I thought because
I actually
it looked like
I'm
a
gonna be
creamer.
honest, I don't think it's that bad.
It looks
Have
like
you
a
tried
creamer.
it?
No, I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
I don't
though.
intend it.
Like I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna try it.
Are you?
I think so.
We'll have to check up on that.
I'll put a video on
Because
social
I think
media.
if you put it on a sandwich, it should not go in a drink.
If I had coffee and mayonnaise right now, I'd give you guys $5 just to try it right now.
I think I'd do that.
I would do it.
That is weird. I'm surprised.
$5.
I am surprised. Like I
don't think it'd
seen
be that bad.
a video of him doing it.
Oh, you can find him. Just go look it up right now. I'm sure you can.
I'm looking it up right now.
I mean, as they do that, I want to just talk about how the Lions had 6 players that had touchdowns. Just want to let you know.
Jared Goff only getting 15 points on fantasy, which
he didn't do amazing, but that's the thing is that as a good football team, you don't need your players to do amazing. You just need them to do.
You know who's playing really amazing today?
Who?
Khalil Shakir, Calvin Ridley, and Travis Kelce.
Calvin Ridley, I traded with Wesley at the last second. I was like, I'll give you Xavier Worthy for Calvin Ridley. He says, all right, I don't care. Calvin Ridley went off. I knew he was going to go off because DeAndre Hopkins.
Kelce has 13.9 points and he's in the red zone. I'm going to cry.
That's the most.
I put Hunter Henry and thinking Drake May was going to.
You started him against the Jets defense. The Jets defense has a good pass defense.
So let me circle back real quick. Let me just interrupt. All right.
Yeah.
Your dad over here, like he's throwing in butter and coffee. It's just oil. Mayo on grilled cheese instead of butter is amazing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I use mayo to cook grilled cheese. But mayo in coffee?
Anything that should be used on a sandwich should not be in a drink.
Yes.
Period.
Exactly. Would you put ketchup in your drink?
No.
Like,
well, we're not saying that. Okay, that's a different story.
Are you going to do a cheeseburger smoothie?
That sounds disgusting.
But see,
you're supposed to eat food.
I'm just saying, grilled cheese smoothie.
No. Drinking your food is not good. It's like
I feel like your grilled cheese smoothie.
No, well, you can do healthy ways of like drinking
healthy,
your food.
But I wanted to.
But like, if you drank all your, we should probably try that for a 30-day challenge type of thing.
Yeah,
and just drink all of our food. Are you trying to break my mic over there?
No, I'm trying to tighten it.
Oh,
he's doing something. Oh, nonetheless, I think that overall. Mayo in coffee. The reason I don't think it'd be that bad is because it looks like cream, like milk.
I think it would literally because that's.
I don't think it would taste like that, but it looks like it. Yeah. Well,
you guys try it and let me know how it is.
We're bringing it back in the studio.
If it's good, I'm still not trying it.
Yeah, that's probably smart because I don't think it will be good, but I don't think it'd be as bad as I think it would be. That's what I'm thinking.
I've heard of the butter and the coffee. Right.
Yeah, that's not outrageous.
I know people that do it.
I've never heard of
it. Right. And it's an intestinal thing, a digestion thing, adding a little flavor. I haven't tried it. But anything that I put on toast.
Yeah, anything that goes.
If I put on toast, you're going to put jelly in your drink?
No. I won't. No. No one's putting jelly. You have
are we just talking coffee?
Just coffee.
Just coffee.
Oh, no. I mean, jelly smoothies, maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like you get strawberry jelly.
Well, I'm just talking like coffee, right?
Yeah.
Stuff you put on bread, toast, stuff like that for sandwiches. Doesn't belong in your drink.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong in your coffee. specifically.
I think it's been a problem because why is he doing so bad?
Just
It might be the
pineapple
mayo.
belong on pizza.
It might be
No.
the mayo.
It might be the mayo that's causing him to
Mayo.
be so bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does
I don't know.
pineapple
Speaking
belong?
of Mayo, Gerard Mayo, the head coach for the Patriots,
Got his second win while he was on the hot seat.
against
Another
the Jets.
May. Not but May. Concussion.
Oh yeah, Drake May
His third
concussion
start.
against the
Given the
Jets.
win though,
Mhm.
Jacoby Brissett also looked pretty good.
It was. I mean, it's the thing is that the Jets were ahead like multiple times. So what's the reasoning that we lost? I couldn't find it. I looked. I watched the whole
Ramondre
game.
Stevenson, simple, tied his career best in touchdowns, which is 2, which shows that he's a horrible running back.
Yeah, he's never been that consistent.
But giving those 2 touchdowns, Ramondre scored the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah,
With a game-winning pass from
it
a
was a
dot.
great throw, especially after Michael Carter came in and blitzed and just quabbled Jacoby Brissett, and somehow he got the football off. The biggest thing for me was
quabbled. Is that what you just said?
I just said
You mean
quabbled.
Cobbled. Wait.
You could say cobbled, but I just said quabbled because he was hit. He was hit pretty hard.
That's all right. I
won't
make
lie.
up words too.
I won't lie.
You
Like
know?
he got hit pretty hard, and he still got the throw off, and he still somehow Kedrick Bourne, who had 3 drops that day, by the way, somehow brings it in and puts them at the 4-yard line. And I will say is that we had 3 stops, and on the last one on the 1-yard line, because what do you call it? I think it was not Nelson Aguilar, Romeo Dobbs. His knee touched right at the 1-yard line, and 4th and goal. It was like so close. The knee almost hit the ground before the end zone, but the ball crossed the plane first. And it would have been the Jets' win if that was a stop. And I don't know what to go from here because now the Jets are what? Yeah, we're 2-6. We're tied with the Patriots at the bottom of the division. Miami's ahead of us. The Bills are cruising along the division. We invested every single piece of our franchise into this. We gave everything to Rodgers, and we are 2-6. Zach Wilson, the BYU Cougar, did better with this franchise with
Could
less
consider
talent.
him a cougar chaser.
He is a Cougar chaser. And he still did better than one of the greatest quarterbacks ever to play history. I don't understand what else we can do for Rodgers because there is nothing else.
He's simply just old and does not know how to play anymore.
Last year he threw for like 3,000 yards though.
You dumb.
What?
He got hurt the first.
No, not 2 years ago. Back his last year with the Packers.
Yep, he played for the Pats. Yep.
In my
Put that on
defense,
the socials.
His brain waves kind of.
well, when I'm talking about the Jets, I
His
lose
brain's fluid,
I lose
that's
all my
fine.
things because the Jets
he loses all his things.
I really do because there's no point
Right,
the Jets.
it's okay. We're not
for-
at school. You can say a
for
few
not-
swears.
Okay. Well, the thing is, the Jets have been so bad for so long that it comes to the point where we can just blame this and blame that. I really think it's Joe Namath and the curse he beset upon this franchise.
What the heck are you talking about?
He made a deal with the devil, and it's the only
Oh
way to
my
get this
gosh,
deal
right.
away is to either try and do a ritual on Joe Namath or until he passes away. Because there's no way that
Alright.
we win.
Because a ritual's gonna work. Because a ritual's gonna work, right?
It would. How
think so?
They have a deal with the devil. There's no Joe Namath guaranteed the 1963 Super Bowl. We won that Super Bowl, and now we're gonna be terrible until he dies, or we do the ritual.
Has Joe Namath even affiliated with the Jets?
Yeah, he's on the Ring of Honor. He has numbers retired. They were gonna unretire it for Rodgers, but he decided to wear 8. Joe Namath was literally the greatest quarterback we've ever had, and he cursed us, and now we're stuck with it. Because what else do you explain we suck? I can't find a reason. I mean, I could point like little things like this and that, but it's been the same things for the past 70 years. The closest we've gotten was the AFC Championship with the Steelers, and we lost because we cannot hold on to the football. But Mark Sanchez was the second greatest quarterback. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Ryan Fitzmagic was the greatest quarterback we've had.
Fitzpatrick, by the way.
Fitzmagic. He's magic on the
He
football
is
field.
magic, you're right.
And he played on 14 teams.
He's
I'm so
one of the
shocked about
greatest
that.
Dynasty Daddy gridiron.
Oh my God. You can literally use him for
Silver.
anyone.
Him and Josh McCown.
Josh McCown, another great Jet legend. I can name you so many quarterbacks that did better than Rodgers in these past 6 games.
So I wanted to see what the interwebs had on Joe Namath, the explanation of the jinx,
Mhm.
right? It says, or the 1969 curse. Now, most people would think, kind of like the Red Sox, how we had the curse for a while, right? Is a curse means that like something bad happened. right?
Mhm.
The supposed curse that some fans of New York Jets attribute to the team's lack of success since Joe Namath led them to their only Super Bowl victory in 1969. How do you blame a man that led them to a Super Bowl?
Oh, simple. He guaranteed it. He made a deal with the devil.
Just shut up.
No, he said it. No. Look up.
Holy cow! Shut up.
Look at the quote. He guaranteed it. There's a quote that says, "I
know.
guarantee the Super Bowl." There it is. He
So
guaranteed
That's not
the
a
Super Bowl.
bad thing. He guaranteed the Super Bowl when he stayed a man to it. Like he stayed true.
So you're going to say we need to do a satanic ritual,
Mhm.
like put him on the field with that like
Ooga
circle
shot.
Yes.
with the
Ooga
Exactly.
shot. Ooga
How
shot.
else?
I hate to name it. Ooga
Exactly.
shot. Ooga shot.
How else? I mean, that's the only way we can start winning.
I know whoever's watching saw that catch right there.
Because the Jets have been so historically bad that you can't find any reason. We had the longest playoff drought in the
but
entire National Football League.
how do you blame somebody, right, that led them to success?
Because I'm delusional.
Because
He's a mentally
very
ill Jets
delusional.
fan who belongs.
Watching the Jets every week is becoming to the point where it's just your brain clobbles a bunch of stuff together.
You're not the only person
Quabble
that's
again,
blamed,
I like
right?
that.
It's on the
yeah.
internet, right? So
Mhm.
like, what is like the root of it,
Mhm.
right? Because is it they're just mad that he like didn't lead them to a Super Bowl again?
No, it's because that we've been so bad that the only way they can find, because they're trying to find why we're so bad.
So they essentially, instead of a jinx or a hoax,
Mhm.
they're trying to say he's the GOAT without saying he's the GOAT.
Exactly.
Because they can't
he
win
used
without
up
him.
all of our quarterback play for the next 100 years.
Like he harnessed power from the
Mhm.
depths
100%.
and sucked the energy from the
Yep.
city
Mhm.
and put it onto the field while he was playing
Yes.
and then left with it.
And that's why our greatest quarterback since has been Ryan Fitzmagic, who came from another team. Our greatest QBs are teams that aren't drafted by this team.
You would think with the last name Fitzmagic,
Yeah.
like he would have magic.
He did. He just he wasn't drafted by us. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you're not drafted by us, then you're fine as a QB. But like Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold.
Is that a superstition thing you guys got in the Jets?
Oh, no. The Jets. Are you talking about Joe Namath or
No,
quarterback
just like if you don't draft the quarterback,
you
do they
don't
play good?
draft the quarterback. Like,
Oh, well,
is that like
if
the
you look at-
Sanderson sisters do this?
That's kind of
Kind of.
just like a sports thing, though. If you don't draft them and they go do good, or if they don't do good on your team and they
Yeah.
go do good on
Yeah.
the other team.
But look
Yeah.
at, I mean, if you look at historically, just right now, the past 10 years, Geno Smith was drafted. He was horrible with us. Horrible. He went to Seattle. He went to the playoffs. Sam Darnold, drafted by us, was terrible, got mono, was out for an entire year because of that. And then on top of that, now he's like 5-2 with the Vikings and is putting up like MVP level stats.
But then you also have to look at the team that Sam Darnold's given now and the team that Sam Darnold was given with the Jets.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The Jets ruin QBs, and it's horrible to see because Sam Darnold had
Yeah, but
potential.
why? Why?
Oh,
because they don't give
because
them.
we're.
I'm going to be real. This is my take on it. So, who do the Jets have right now for wide receivers?
Oh, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams.
All right, so they brought in Tay for
Yeah.
Aaron.
Tay-Tay?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Shake it off.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they bring in Devontae Adams
Mhm.
for Aaron Rodgers this year. Devontae Adams misses. You look at him,
You look insane.
Ryan.
Yeah, we drafted
I'm
all this. Our draft potential
I'm
gone.
so scared.
We you know how much money we spent on this
Mhm,
team?
mhm.
$360 million,
Yeah,
and we're
but
2-6.
then right, you look at Devontae Adams, and he comes off of injury with he was with the Raiders, right?
Yeah, he was not
So
injured. I mean, he just
Exactly.
wanted out. He
He
just wanted out.
Wasn't supposed to play. He was injured,
Yeah,
and then he comes back and he hasn't performed, has he?
no, not at all. He has 4 drops in
Exactly.
2 games.
Because he hasn't played. He made the dumb decision to play to not play for the Raiders. The Raiders would have traded him if he requested it.
Yeah.
And he
I mean,
just
did
didn't because
he did request it. It's just they didn't listen to him for the past year and a half.
exactly because they wanted him to fill out his contract so they were at least getting their money's worth.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that we also took to pay the entire contract, including giving them a 3rd rounder. So basically, we did all of that just for him to have like 4 catches for about 90 yards in 2 games. So I don't know where the Jets go from here. I mean, just the season's over. It's over.
Yeah. But then right,
from
you
here-
also
I think that you want to form a cult
Kind of.
to take Joe Namath and like
throw him in a volcano in Hawaii.
Throw him in a volcano and sacrifice him to make sure the Jets. But here's the thing: is like he didn't screw up. He brought him to success
because he made the deal with the devil. How else do you explain this? This 70-year drought of horribleness.
Because everybody rode on his shoulders.
Well, no, it's because Joe Namath retired in like 1972. Since then, it's been horrible.
I know, but like he still played after 69.
Yeah.
Right. So like you can't ride the coattails of somebody that just retires.
But you don't ride the coattails for 60 years. That's the difference.
Yeah, but the thing is like, okay, step up. Right.
That's what I've been asking for the past 10 years.
I know.
That's all I've been asking is for somebody to step up, and nobody has. And then that's when you have to come to the team. It's either him or Woody Johnson.
A complaint to customer service that the team hasn't stepped up.
I already have. I DM'd Robert Saleh last year. I DM'd Tim Boyle last year. I could not.
You were dropping into their DMs.
Yeah, I did get a scene
from Tim. Right into the DMs.
Get a scene from Tim Boyle.
Did your sentence start with, if you would like Satan to not control the team anymore?
No, it actually
we need to sacrifice Joe.
I know he's at some like retirement home now.
Yeah.
But
he's in his
6 months.
If you need me to end it, I'll end it.
Like, if we can start winning again, I say we wrap him up in tinfoil and send him to the moon. All right. I'm just saying.
Why tinfoil?
I don't know.
Because like for aliens, like if you have tinfoil on, like that's old thing. Like they can't
procreate. Or he's thinking like the tinfoil is gonna stop his like Satanism receptors.
Give us more draft picks if we just randomly add like
tinfoil to Joe Namath. Yeah. It's gonna give you more draft picks.
I'm gonna be real. This is my take now.
Yeah.
All right.
Jets, ready? Here. I'm gonna do a little drawing.
Are we doing a Jets burnout now?
Yes, yeah. We've been on it for a minute.
Well,
yeah.
At this point, it's burning Joe Namath out.
I mean, at this point,
I mean, he's burnt.
I mean, if you told me at the start of the season when we were 0-0, I'd be like, oh, no, it's because the coaching's bad and all that. But no, at this point, I've seen how this team plays, and I've seen how fate has decided this team to play. And I can't say it's the players' fault. Sometimes the balls will just magically go out of bounds when it's a fumble recovery.
Ryan, you're just delusional.
Yes, that's the definition of being a Jets fan. I said we were going to the AFC. I said we were going to the AFC Championship this year. We are currently 2-6. When I was at the Schooners game with AJ, I said we were going at least 11-6. We are currently 2-6. That means we have to win out for my prediction to be true.
Okay. So if we can see this drawing here, I know it's not great. Here, ready? I'm just gonna go up. I'll go up to the camera. You guys can narrate for me.
Narrate it? Like what? What are we?
Go up to camera one, the first one right there. Yeah.
What do we got here? We got. Your handwriting is horrible.
God, that is terrible.
I mean, I have pretty.
3.
Yeah.
Go on.
What?
Tight end. Go on.
Are you just? Is this our lineup?
Go on.
What are you doing? What is that?
All right. So here.
Yeah.
I crossed everyone that needs to get redrafted.
Yeah. Oh well, no, we have to draft the QB2. Rodgers is 42.
Can you come sit down now?
Yeah. every time he plays out there,
blocking the camera.
Exactly. They love seeing my back.
Yeah. All right. Rodgers looks like a senile old man every time he steps onto that football field.
He's 42 and he plays on mushrooms every game.
That has been confirmed. He's been on Percocet. But
I wouldn't be surprised if he's like
he is. Have you seen him in the post-game interviews? His eyes are just like staring into a distant wall. He's like, how was your performance affected the game? He said,
what's any different from that and you talking about the Jets?
Oh, well, the difference.
I would love to see Ryan talk about the Jets on shrooms.
Yeah,
I think that'd be awesome.
It'd be a problem. I'd probably tell us to go get Cam Ward and then turn him into a Martian.
Ryan wants Cam Ward, by the way. Yeah. I don't agree with it.
But I will say is that the one thing Rodgers was supposed to be RFK's vice president candidate, by the way. So he's not a sane human being. I won't lie with you. Rodgers is a little crazy. He went in the same week, by the way. He denied the Sandy Hook happened. In the same week, by the way, he denied Sandy Hook. Then he became the RFK's vice president candidate. And then he went to Costa Rica for a vacation during training camp. So he was fined $3 million for being in Costa Rica. And when he came back from Costa Rica, he said he went into another darkness retreat and saw a black hat man that was staring at him in an isolated room.
Joe Namath.
It could have been It could have been Joe Namath.
Namath.
It could have been Joe Namath.
Yes.
It could have been Joe Namath. That's
It
why
was.
Rogers can't play. Joe Namath.
Yes. Joe Namath is like, Joe comes in the middle of the night.
Throw the
to
defense.
take your soul so you cannot play football anymore.
Throw the football into double coverage
Aaron.
every time.
Aaron.
Walk towards the light.
I wouldn't be surprised if he starts walking toward the light at 42.
Every time he gets
That's
hit,
kind of young, though.
It's pretty young, but not for QB play. Every time he gets hit,
well,
every time
sports
he got hit in.
he looks
London.
75.
He does. It's terrible, but he got hit in London, and
tobacco is a thing.
Nicotine.
It's bad for the skin.
it's really bad.
Yeah,
it's beyond that.
You see Baker Mayfield though? Got fined. He put in 2 Zins on the sideline.
It was. I loved it. He also had Zins during practice. You could see the huge container in
they
the
all do.
pocket.
Well, here's the thing. It's like nicotine is like a natural energy thing.
Yeah.
Right. I can see not
they don't like the reputation.
Yeah, the use of additives, and they can't it's a regulation thing, right? Let's get down to the real root of it, right? You could add stuff into it.
Yeah.
Right. You could add stuff into the pouches that increases your performance other than the nicotine that it comes in the pouches. Right. So that's why the regulation's there.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you can add a substance into your body during play, people are going to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see them looking like roided gorillas doing lippers of roid. Right.
They look like
that would be. I think that would actually be really
it would be
a quick acting PED that you just put in your lip and then you're like,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like that what do they call it?
Smelling salts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of body builders, not bodybuilders, but power lifters use it a lot of times. Preset, right? For a PR.
Mm-hmm.
They'll snap that and smell it.
Mm.
I get the point of it, but it's going to probably make you throw up, especially if you have a full stomach.
Exactly.
But
especially if you smell too much.
What I don't understand smelling salts.
It's to give you a rush. It's to give you adrenaline.
I know that, but what is it? A bad smell?
It's a really strong smell.
Yeah, so it's a sensational. It's a reactive thing to your mind and everything else. That's why they use it when somebody gets knocked out from the concussion and everything else. It's supposed to be something that wakes you up, and it's such a potent thing that your senses trigger you to be at a heightened state. It's naturally meant for somebody who gets knocked out on the field and they'll snap it to try to get them to wake up. Yeah. So
but nonetheless, the Jets lose again, 2-6, and I want to burn the franchise to the ground.
I want to burn whoever makes helmets down because my glorious king Drake May is out.
Oh yeah, another concussion.
But speaking of helmets, do you see the what was the team? It's I'm blanking right now.
Illinois.
The
leather caps. Yeah, those were really cool.
Those looked awesome.
I loved it.
Absolutely awesome.
Took 2 hours for each helmet to be made.
I know.
Yeah,
artistic skills on that. I wonder how much he brought them to the bank on that one.
Yeah, had to charge them a lot of money.
It said that 2,000 piece, which is double what a normal plain white helmet costs.
Yeah.
Imagine just a guy on the sideline that never saw a single snap.
Here's my thing. They're only probably good for one gameplay, especially at contact.
Because they just go back to it.
Because it just shrieks right off, right?
Yeah.
Unless you urethane the crap out of it.
Yeah. Oh, they looked really cool to start, so we'll take that. But
oh no, I thought it was cool. I saw that video.
And no, I'm pretty sure those helmets were a one-time wear thing. Those are going to be sold on auction, and then they'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Because what most schools have been doing is with their new helmets, because Rydell, they sell. I think it's Rydell. I know Rydell does it for their own helmets, the Speed and the Speed Flex.
Yeah.
They in the Axiom, it's a helmet shell. So you've seen the Guardian caps, and how the I know Jabril Peppers on Patriots has one that has the Patriots logo on it. So it's basically the Guardian cap, but there's no padding, and it's literally just the plastic shell.
It's just there.
And it goes on the helmet, and it clicks in, and you just put your face mask on through it.
Yeah.
So then you can just take it on and off to have 2 different helmets.
Yeah. Helmets have gotten a lot advanced. Now there's some like LSU. I remember a year ago, they tried out these helmets that have air conditioning in it.
Mm-hmm.
So like during hot practices and hot games, they had air conditioning. Each one of those cost like I think $1,500 to $2,000. It was a lot.
No, it was cheap.
Was it cheap?
It was like
I remember being a lot more expensive.
I would beg. It's not an AC unit. It's probably just a fan.
Yeah, it's a fan, not
The
a
air
AC unit.
circulation.
Yeah, but
Like, there's not-
it's central air.
Essential
Yeah.
air. Like there's a
I
full
think-
condenser.
yeah,
And like they have to get recharged every quarter.
yeah,
It's air
It is.
circulation.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like the
Yeah.
glass windows.
But Waterford has glass windows.
yeah, I was just trying to paint a picture that they were really rich because it was a really the field wasn't that great. They just had a turf softball field, which I still find weird.
Yeah, because their softball team's disgusting.
Apparently, like they hit like 4 home runs against Ledger.
But I think that really wraps it up for the
Yeah.
for the football segment, and that was
Yeah.
a long one for sure.
It was
That
definitely a long
that
one.
was an hour right there.
But this one's gonna
But,
be fun for
um,
me as a Yankee fan. You know, it is.
As a Red Sox fan, this one's fun for me. The
Okay, well, you're not
Dodgers,
even in the
Dodgers.
playoffs.
I
You
know.
have Mookie, Kike, former Red Sox,
Yeah,
all
exactly.
here,
The
all
Red
here.
Sox or the Dodgers.
Okay, well,
So
Yeah.
the Dodgers are dodging bullets here.
they
Game-
got away with game 1. They barely got away with
Game one, Freddie Freeman coming up clutch
It
with
still
his
plays
dad
in my
in
head. It plays
attendance.
in my head every single
Walk
time.
off grand slam, 36 years after. I want to say
It's a new curse, but it's for the Yankees.
No, I can't curse the Yankees. They have too much money.
it. The call was
What?
Gibby meet Freddie or Freddie meet Gibby.
Yeah, something like that. The biggest thing with the Dodgers was the fact that they kept losing their their bullpen just wasn't as good as it was, especially in game 1. Game 2 was a little different. Their bullpen came out and they shoved, but the difference was in game 1 was that they had more guys out of the pen. Now it's a little different. Now that you go to the Bronx, it's a lot different. But the biggest thing with the Dodgers is that you're up 2-0 and you barely got up 2-0. You saw the Yankees in game 1, you went into extra innings, you were down 3-2, but luckily they brought in Nestor Cortez, a guy who hasn't pitched in 2 months, and said, we'll see what happens. And the reason that Boone put him in makes me so angry because the only reason Boone put him in instead of Jay Cousins, who's a pretty good pitcher, the only reason was the matchup. He liked the lefty. And that's been a consistent thing with Boone is that he'll go to pitchers just because he likes the matchup, not because, he hasn't pitched in 2 months.
Fire
And
Aaron Boone.
I mean, that's what we've been saying the whole season. It was a little different when you got to the World Series, but,
But-
Hasn't that been a discussion many a times?
too many times.
Like,
Yeah. The only problem is he has tenure. So, it's
yeah, Aaron Boone is seasoned.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
And you got to think about the political side to it in franchises and across the MLB and everything else is the man knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Right. And it may be unorthodox. It's just that the franchise doesn't like his unorthodox way of doing things. But any manager or any coach, you got to, one, let them settle in.
Yeah.
Right. And you got to let them do their thing. At the end of the day, they can accept it more if they did it their way
Yeah.
and it didn't work and then they got fired.
Yeah.
Versus trying to dictate all the time and micromanaging these managers and coaches and bullpen coaches and everything else. Like, let them work.
Yeah.
Let them do the work.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what'd you hire them for? If you're going to micromanage them and you're going to try to tell them what they should do, right?
Yeah.
Go get somebody that wants to just jump on the bandwagon and drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Right. You're not gonna have somebody that's going to get a team going.
Exactly.
Right. You want the Aaron Boones, you want the Jason Varitek, you want, which was pretty awesome. I took a selfie with Jason Varitek on the Red Sox field, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you want those guys.
Yeah.
You want those hardcore locker room guys that can stir the pot when it's necessary and back off and allow the players to do their job.
Yeah.
Right. At the end of the day, like, the team is not going to win if you don't have the players doing their job.
Exactly.
Right? The players are going to make the managers and the coaches and the owners look good.
Mm-hmm. The biggest thing, though, is that I see is that when you move on, it's becoming that fine line, because when you have a guy like Judge, the captain, the main player of this team, the player that got paid the most money, when you have that guy, he just had a problem with it because now he's not hitting. He's not hitting in the postseason. He hit 58 home runs during the regular season, and now he's not hitting the baseball. Almost said football. And what do? You can't move him in the lineup. He's Judge. He's the captain. You can't move him. That demoralizes the team. Oh, no, the captain's not doing well. He's getting moved down. How is that going to affect me?
Yeah, you almost said football just because you still got Joe on your mind. But
Yep.
it's okay. You know, it is what it is.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Speaks to me in my sleep.
The Jets will never win again.
You're right.
Your quarterbacks are horrible.
I know, I've
it's
watched
all my
them.
fault.
But no, I really look at the Dodgers and the Yankees down 2-0 for the Yankees, and now you're going to the Bronx. You have to win out in the Bronx. If you don't win out in the Bronx, the series is over. That's just how it works.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is the Yankees they're hitting with noodles right now, right? They got the pool noodles out, and you know they're just.
Oh yeah.
Sign them up for Wimbledon. Give them a tennis racket, and at least they. May
I don't
be
think
able
they
to
could hit
something.
with a tennis racket.
Yeah,
I won't lie with you, because
know?
they see these inside pitches, they see these high pitches, and they have the worst pitch selection I've seen in the past 15 years. They'll see up and in sliders and take the strongest hack ever. But if there's a curveball in the dirt, curveball right down the middle, they'll lay off of it.
I'm gonna let you talk about this. Honestly,
it's just. You can talk from experience from baseball players. Is that there's no reason to lay off of a middle curveball and then swing at an up and in right at your shoulder heater. I don't see the reason in this, and there's no reason.
It's Joe Namath.
It's yeah.
Aaron
I mean, if he's talking to Judge and he's telling Judge to swing at a curveball that hits the plate, maybe it is. Because why is Judge being so bad in the postseason? He can't see the curveball, he can't see the slider. These pitchers aren't anything that are like ace level. They're not amazing players. Yamamoto didn't even do that good. He let up a home run to Juan Soto.
Yeah,
he doesn't have his best stuff.
He left a slider over the plate, which led to.
And why can't anyone else hit that? There was 4 sliders that were left over the plate.
You have a righty-lefty matchup, and when you have Yamamoto, he's very overhand, and 2 lefties. It showed this year. The ball is shown. The good thing with these Chinese, Japanese, just players of Asian descent, they're really good at hiding the baseball when they're pitching.
Yeah,
and you get these times where the ball, like anyone watching, if you know baseball, you know that. They hide, they almost come up.
They don't want you to see it, yeah.
They hide the ball behind their leg, and they're really good about it. Yamamoto, actually, I looked back, you can see the ball behind his leg.
Yeah.
It was actually, behind his hamstring. And to lefty, that's through his split, through the leg split. So if he's just looking for the ball anywhere, I've seen videos of that approach with Japanese pitchers, you're going to see that. And the ball just came over the top and it stayed through the middle and then broke in a little bit, which led to the ball getting pulled way down the line, a good 420.
Yeah. And I was talking to AJ with this. Shout out AJ. Sad you can't be here because he would love to talk about this. At the end of the game, last night or whatever, we had bases loaded, 2-4 ball game. It was a tight ball game. Austin Wells was up. We subbed him out for Jose Trevino. AJ texted me. He said it comes down to the first pitch, because if he doesn't swing first pitch, then he loses the AB. He swung first pitch. He was so late on 91 heater up and out, and I under Jose Trevino, and he's constant. He's known for pulling the ball a lot more than he goes oppo. But the biggest thing with that is that you had bases loaded with 2 outs in a 2-4 ball game. A double gets you a tied ball game. You could have hit a grand slam. You're up by 2 runs. There's no reason there why you fly out to the left fielder by being late on the outside and up heater. There's no reason.
Well, I feel like you look at that and you just have to look at Jose Trevino's stats in the past. You have to look at catchers overall. They're not good hitters. Jose Trevino.
So I don't know why you bring
has
another
a year
catcher.
Where I'm surprised he didn't get DFA'd. I have a feeling that the whole reason he didn't get DFA'd is because of
he's a clutch hitter. supposedly.
Supposedly, but he's not. It showed.
Wells
game
has
one
a
and game
better
two.
Wells has better batting average with runners in scoring position than
And I don't know
Trevino
why.
does.
This one, mine or yours?
That's yours.
So I think Trevino hasn't gotten cut or DFA'd yet
Because of this magical idea that he's better at hitting.
Here we go with the magic again.
Oh,
this imaginary.
Ryan.
It's the fact that I would like Wells to be in that situation. I know he likes the matchup with Trevino, the righty, but I just think that I would have trusted Wells there more than Trevino. I mean, he need to swing first pitch or he's going to lose the AB, quote AJ. But I think that we've lost both these games in the last inning, both of them.
Do you think there's a behind the scenes factor that's like weighing in on the poor performance of
we think we're too good for ourselves.
I mean,
coming into this World Series, there was a lot of talk in the locker room, and you saw it in the post-game interviews that we were going to steamroll for the Dodgers. And of course, I had the same idea as my fan, but
You're just delusional.
We have a lot of holes in this lineup that people don't like to talk about as Yankees fans because they don't want to say, "Oh, the guy we paid $400 million, Aaron Judge, hasn't gotten a hit in the postseason for the past 4-6 games." That should never happen.
To me, I mean, he really hasn't played.
Yeah.
Right. He got signed. He's played, but like when he first started, the will, ambition, and everything else as a new player, getting signed, like, and I respect him as a player. You know, I respect all players. You know, all teams and everything else. But you get paid that amount of money, like. You can't just stop working.
Exactly. So like if you do really well in the regular season, then you come to the postseason and you don't do anything.
I'll put it like this, right? Any person that is MLB, NFL, all that kind of stuff, right? I'm gonna put it in a military perspective. I'm gonna put it in a first responder perspective. I'm gonna put it anybody that's got a job.
Yeah.
You stop doing your work.
Bye.
You get fired.
Yeah, it's a little different when you have a $400 million 15-year contract.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but then the NFL needs to rewrite their contracts.
Yeah,
that say if you don't do your job, you're going to.
That's
leave.
Why there's like what do you call it? Guarantees, not guarantees, but there's incisives that are like, oh, if you do this in a season,
what was that word you said?
Incisives. Incentives.
Incentives.
Folks.
Okay.
Yes, folks. He meant to say incentives. Please excuse him.
We're not saying dictionary anymore.
Oh. Dictionary.
Thank you.
Ryan's not this Ryan,
ding
but that
dong.
Ryan's dictionary. It is
Ryan Ding Dong Carvalho.
I make up words.
Yeah,
but I love.
It's a little different. We started with Migching and what was
we were talking when Michigan and Alabama played. Migchin and Bamna.
Yeah, it was after a long day of school.
We kept that on the whiteboard in the library for a good month.
For basically the whole time.
Thank you,
Bamna.
Thank you, Big chin.
But nonetheless, I think that the Yankees need to win out.
It's incentives.
Oh yeah, incentives. I forgot to mention this. Players will get paid more money for doing stuff like if football players they'll have if you get this many amount of sacks and this amount of games, you make more money. Baseball has a little less of that. I don't really hear much about it, but I think it should be the other way around. You get fines.
Who do you hear it from?
What?
Who do you hear it from?
Oh, in the contract details. Because when they do that, like announcers will talk about it. Like Chris Jones, he had like
do you read the contract?
No.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't go into the players' contracts and read every single line.
It's public, right?
Yeah, there's all contracts are
freedom
public.
of information.
Yes.
We should pull some of those contracts and dive into.
I think that would
the biggest one I want to always talk about is
figure out if there's a consistency for these players that are getting paid so much. Of if there's a fail safe, they don't have to perform and they still get paid.
Yeah,
right.
That's called guaranteed money. Yeah,
I know that.
Well, yeah,
but I'm just saying, like contracts are contracts regardless, right? If you don't do the job, like.
You don't get the money.
You don't get the money. There's got to be, unless the NFL just has stupid lawyers that don't write it in the contract that says if you don't perform, you don't get paid.
Exactly. There's going to be a bar you have to meet or you don't get paid.
Right. I mean, we get it. Like, people are human.
Yeah.
Right? Let's break it down into the just human sense of it. You're going to have bad days.
Exactly.
You're going to have off days. Right?
You had a bad day.
Yeah.
Voice of an angel over here.
Cross of Fergie and Jesus.
Cross of Fergie and Jesus. Great reference. I reference Step Brothers very frequently. But the point is, before I got rudely interrupted by this guy over here, is I do feel like the players should be held to an even higher standard because they're getting paid so much.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of offensive when they like compare themselves to heroes and warriors and stuff like that, because they're not. Right. Unless they've like previously served in the military.
Yeah.
Or like they've done something heroic.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, you're on a football field, you're on a baseball field. Like, unless it's something you do outside of that.
Yeah.
Right. And like you are heroic in nature and like in act that's happened in your life. Like, we cannot take a broad paintbrush and say that NFL people, MLB people that play sports are heroes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, growing up, maybe like you see that person as your hero. No, it's your idol.
Yeah.
Right. So we got to get back to,
we got to shift the,
we got to get back to like using the words for what they're used for. And I think it gets so convoluted based on trending stuff.
That's a big word right there. That's a $500 word.
Yeah.
Only 500?
5,000.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Convoltuary.
All right.
Ryan, try it.
Convoltuary.
Is that something out of Harry Potter?
I don't know.
Wait, what was the word you said?
Convoluted?
Convoluted. You screwed me up because you said, I thought you were
What did you think I said?
What were you saying?
I don't know.
I'm not gonna even try. But going off of the money thing,
It's like the three blind mice right now,
basically. But going off the contract thing was the fact that there's been a decline in players' performance right after they get paid.
right?
Like Brandon Ayuk, like he got paid $150 to be a receiver for the 49ers, and like he has had over 100-yard game or even a 50-yard game in the past his entire season. And quarterbacks too. Daniel Jones got paid $180 million. He hasn't met expectations before he got paid. And that's what you see with a lot of guys is after they get paid, they just perform awful. And I think it's a part of the mental thing. Oh, I got my money. I don't have to show out for these people anymore. I got paid.
Well, I don't think it's a, there is a mindset thing to it, but I think it's a entitlement.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They think they're entitled to just continue to get money and do nothing.
Yeah.
Right. The expectation of an employer to employee is you're being hired to do this job. Right. If you don't do it, they should know they don't get paid.
Yeah.
I guarantee if they did by game basis, if you didn't perform, they would start performing.
Yeah.
Right. Granted, sometimes we hear about the injuries or playing through the injuries and stuff way after the fact.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the majority of them are trying to do their job. You have a select few that it goes to their head.
Yeah.
But I also think that the NFL, the MLB, and other sports franchises can do a better job on like having mental coaches, right? Having mindset coaches, mindfulness, right, in sports, so they can get through the good, the bad, the indifferent, right? Because they're going to have those ups and downs. They're only human.
Yeah.
But allow them to understand that, like, you're getting paid this much.
Yeah.
I think he's checked out.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing over there.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm just
You're just staring off.
zoning out.
It's all convoluted for him.
Yeah.
Conduciary. That's what it was. Conduciary.
Yeah. Well,
But I think I think the thing is that these players, they need coaching outside of play.
Yes.
Right. Especially
100%.
the younger players.
Guys who
right?
don't have the exact like brain development to be able to do it by themselves. People got to step in. And
They
help
have
them.
the brain. They have the brain development. Right. It comes down to
Not
a
having enough experience.
mind coach. It comes down to a life coach aspect, right? You have a lot of these players that are very, very young, right? They're either getting drafted, before they decide not to go to college. They go to college, they get drafted, or they go to college, they finish college and then get drafted, right? They're still young people,
Yeah.
right? they haven't experienced life to a certain extent, right?
Mhm.
And you got to think, you go from, especially players that have nothing, they go from that to more money than they will ever see in their lifetime if they weren't given that opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. What would you do with $400 million?
It's even okay, not gonna try and say that word. It's
Incomprehensible?
unimaginable. Yes. It's I can't imagine having that much money.
Incomprehensible.
Yeah, there you go. I can't
Say that
imagine
again?
having
Incomprehensible.
so you pronounce the
Oh my
syllable. Yeah, it's been
Another made up
Wow.
word.
wow.
Well,
Incomprehensible.
there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
But I can't imagine having that much money. And the thing is that when people have that much money, they don't know what to do with it because you've never
Yeah.
had that much money in your life.
Yeah.
That's true.
It just comes down to, continuing to coach the younger players when they get into these franchises to keep steering them in the right direction, and I think the franchises, NFL, MLB, whatever, can do a better job and they do a good job, but I think they can do a better job and require it in a contract of, hey, we understand you're young. There's a lot of money. And this is what's in the contract. This is part of it. Right. And have they're spending $400 million on one person.
Yeah. It's a lot of
The NFL can afford, or the MLB can afford, right, to assign somebody within the network to work with players.
Yeah.
There are people in that aspect, but like
it's not required. It's not
more of a mindset.
Yeah.
What I've noticed too is like with those like specialist teams only like will bring one in if it's needed.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I just feel as though that situation needs to be like
looked
I
over.
think it needs to be reevaluated, and I
Mhm.
feel like there needs to be a clause somewhere in the sports constitution
Yeah.
that each team needs to have a sports psychologist on deck or a sports therapist or like a mental
coach, like
exactly
a life coach.
a mental trainer
to try and help them guide them.
I think it's more, and I agree with you, but I think it's more of a requirement on a regular basis, right? I think it should be required more often because so much changes
within a
right?
short period
of time. And like I talk about it on my podcast of transition and purpose and everything else, right? Can you imagine going from like, I don't know, maybe having like a couple $100 in your bank account, going to 400 million?
I'm
right?
going to the club.
I'm just saying, like, that's a big jump, right?
It's a lot more money than
especially,
you can yourself.
Especially if you're anywhere between the ages of 18 and under 30.
Yeah.
Right. That's a lot of money to come into like that. Right. So there needs to be, they have people in place, but it needs to be more of a consistent basis.
Yeah.
I think it should be a requirement, because at the end of the day, that player, right? Anybody in that organization, these organizations need to look at it as a full-on investment. And then you want to have so many of these problems.
Yeah.
Right? Like having set standards. Don't do 119 miles on the highway.
It's probably a good one to start off with.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go to the club and
assault a photographer.
Punch a dog in the face, Michael Vick.
Like, I mean, there's common sense.
A normal human being.
And let's be real. No one in this room is going to see $400 million in their life.
You never know.
Don't jinx it.
You never know.
Joe Namath.
Don't be a Joe Namath.
Exactly.
Got paid pretty well.
But like, you really think about it. If just thinking now, if say I were to see $400 million in my life right now, I would put it in. I would easily just be like,
here's $100 million.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is that you say
I'd
you would do that
for all the studio time.
You would. Here's the thing.
No,
you would say that.
I know I would. Like, I'm not even saying that. Like, if I was in, so right, my mind, Rashi Rice mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Say he's whatever he's getting paid.
Yeah,
I'm not going to a club then doing that.
exactly.
I'm going to be smart and I'm going to be like, all right, I'll go to the club.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm really drunk now.
Yeah.
I'm going to call an Uber.
Maybe he's not smart to begin with as a human being. Maybe that's why the people.
That's where it shows. It's truly
people
a common
when
knowledge
people
thing.
get the money, that's when you see when people are
And
smart.
Like, I get that alcohol definitely has a bunch to do with like the whole like.
Well, if it causes you to do that, to be in such a terrible mind state, A, take your keys away from you, or B, don't drink that
Well, it's not
much.
even that. It's just like it impairs your thoughts and impairs everything going on. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised that he saw more than one. Say there was just one car in front of him.
Yeah.
Maybe he saw 3.
You saw I've had drunk goggles on. It's pretty. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's pretty bad.
Like,
yeah,
it just impairs, and like you have to be smart with that.
Be way smarter than going 109. It's not on top of that. He was just driving drunk. He was also going 119.
Don't drink alcohol, and then get behind the wheel.
Or don't get behind the wheel.
That's a good PSA. But I mean, you got to think that. I mean, alcohol. That's why you call it impairment.
Yeah.
It impairs your judgment, right? I mean, we see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But
also, like, drunk people are just kind of funny, though. That's the thing.
Come on, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm not talking about people. Like, I've seen videos of people getting pulled over. It was like, I wasn't driving. I was traveling in my vehicle. And I just can't help but laugh at it.
Exactly. So if you're doing something really dumb and like it's affecting others to the point where you're near killing them,
pretty close.
See, that's not funny at all. But what you just mentioned,
funny.
Like, that's funny.
Yeah.
And like, as a cop, have you ever ran into any of those like types of
people that are just like super drunk and they say the dumbest things?
Yeah, I mean, I had one lady coming at me head on, and then just finally at the end, it swerved away. I pulled her over, and she was baffled that I was pulling her over.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they're always angry that they got pulled over.
Yeah.
Not like, you just almost ran into me. Like,
Yeah.
What did I do?
The immediate excuse I got for her almost running into me is she had a gymnastics injury when she was like 12.
Officer,
I mean, hey,
I stubbed my toe.
Like,
hey, doing the splits in 1998 was pretty difficult. I want to put it past her. All right.
What year were you born?
1962.
19. You've aged very well.
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
So 98 was a long time ago for you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in the
prehistoric. Actually.
Prehistoric.
Yeah.
The Namath mammoths.
Yeah.
The Namath mammoths.
Thanks.
As Quilter over here keeps rolling off camera.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Rolly chairs are awesome.
Yeah, so enough of that. We went on a freaking.
We went from the Dodgers to
What about the Braun in the NBA?
Bronny Senior. They're calling LeBron James Bronny Senior, and I find it so distasteful.
Bronny will never fit LeBron's shoes.
Not in a million years.
And I feel like this also gets into the GOAT talk.
Slightly, yes.
I think Michael Jordan is better than LeBron
we're gonna
James.
have this. It was put away about 4 years ago when everybody in the community made fun of old heads. Yes, because we made the decision.
So
the council made the decision already that LeBron's
he's a
better.
social media fan. He doesn't use his brain, right? So
I don't use my brain. I don't use my brain.
Yeah,
he's averaging 40 at 38. Jordan was on the Wizards and you couldn't even put up 10.
Technology.
Huh?
Technology.
Technology. What?
Okay. Look at what LeBron has.
What does he have? Like,
all right. So
the more score he has, he's
not
an
as
all-time
many rings.
Oh no, because rings. Oh, I'm sorry. He didn't have Scottie Pippen. He didn't have Steve Kerr and
Steve Kerr wasn't great. It was Scottie
Dennis
Pippen.
Rodman.
It was Scottie Pippen.
I'm trying to name the entire '98 Bulls. Who was that?
Dennis Rodman.
Paxton. James Paxton, not the pitcher, the shooting guard.
James Paxton was not on the Bulls.
Yeah.
What are you?
Shooting guard.
Not
95. Look it up.
How do you know this?
I thought you were I thought you were talking about 98.
No. Well, there's think about all the rings. 2 3-peats.
Yeah.
And besides the time he played for the White Sox.
Yeah.
One of the greatest.
I have those playing cards.
Do you? That's great. I love Michael Jordan on the White Sox. Russell Wilson on the Yankees. There's just I don't get what goes.
I would love to see LeBron James try to play baseball.
he does better than that, that's automatic end of the GOAT bait.
Yeah, all right. If LeBron were to play baseball, he actually
did in high school, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I think he played.
No, he played football. It was that.
Oh yeah.
But if he actually plays good, better than Michael Jordan, advances to the major leagues.
It doesn't even have to be baseball. It could be just a dual sport.
Yeah.
Right. He goes to that's what he played, football.
Yeah, football. Yeah.
He goes and plays football and he kills it.
Mhm.
Let's face it, Michael Jordan was not a good baseball player.
Yeah. No. They used to tip pitches for him just for him to strike out. That was a little sad.
No. Well, they were paid. The teams
yeah.
would get paid because it was an entertainment thing.
Yeah.
But how I see it is Michael Jordan, basically, this is the best way to put it in a workout term. So just technology term. Michael Jordan.
Do you mean technical?
Is that the word? Technological?
What are you trying to say right now?
I don't.
So just
say what you're gonna say. What?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right,
just throw it out there.
So
we'll follow.
The workout, I can almost guarantee you. So actually, I don't even know what I'm trying.
Okay, well then I'll say.
Hang on, no. So Michael Jordan had so much less than LeBron does now. Because sports medicine advanced.
Oh, you talking about
sports technology?
Well, Jordan didn't get hurt that often.
Yeah,
he played through so many injuries.
The flu game, that was pretty cool.
But Ryan, look at all right. I'm just gonna put this straight. Basketball shoes make a huge difference. You look at basketball shoes technology when MJ played. Look at LeBron's now.
Okay.
And then LeBron is such a hater because he tried to be in Space Jam, which flopped.
Okay, I prefer the original Space Jam, but that doesn't mean
exactly confirmed.
But it doesn't matter
Ryan
because
Carvalho
LeBron.
thinks Michael Jordan's
I still think we should be acknowledging that LeBron is at 38, playing with his own son.
We're not saying that he's a bad player.
You're saying Jordan's better.
Yes.
I mean, I'll tell you,
Michael Jordan is the better player. I don't care.
This debate was ended 2 years ago. I don't know how this debate.
You said for a minute
debate
ago.
With who?
With the whole community.
No,
they determined the reason why they determined
what
LeBron.
Forum were you on? The people that just agree with each other?
A random TikTok.
And I won't lie, it's because people hate the 90s. They don't like the 90s. I like the 90s. It's because they said two things.
You weren't even born in the 90s.
I know. Don't look at me. I like the 90s basketball. I love Tim Duncan.
He's like 72 years old, not telling us.
I could be.
He's a 15-year-old.
I love the 90s.
70-year-old body.
You know why? Because it's the only time the Knicks were good with Patrick Ewing. But
that's all this kid cares about is the Knicks.
No, yeah, because I'm a Knicks fan.
And the Jets.
Yeah, I picked the worst sports teams.
Ryan.
Yeah.
It's
about Marcus Camby. What do you know about Bernard King?
What do you know about Daryl Strawberry?
Okay. Oh, my cousin met him.
Really?
Dylan met Did
I ask?
Okay. And we're pulling that out. Nonetheless, I think this debate's been ended because Jordan did not have a left hand.
The debate will never be ended.
I mean, you could say that, but when LeBron's averaging 40 at 38.
Put LeBron James in 90s NBA, he would not survive.
That's what every old head has ever said.
But it's true.
Do you really think that?
I'm being so serious.
In your inner heart, do you really think LeBron wouldn't be able to play basketball in the 90s?
Yes.
I can't tell you that Charles Barkley would be able to guard LeBron. I am sorry.
Yeah, you look at it's Charles freaking Barkley
will be able to guard him, and Shaquille will get up there and dunk on LeBron.
Basically,
that was Shaquille O'Neal's ball coming across the screen.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the game has changed over the years.
100%. The rules are so much different. Refs are a lot more tighter.
But here's the thing: the aggression in the game with each other.
Defense was tougher in the 90s. Yes.
Yes. And LeBron wouldn't be able to handle it because he flops like a little crybaby.
Okay, I wouldn't put it. If you just said like Joel Embiid who flops every second or James Harden, I
didn't say every second, but I'm saying he puts on an act. He's ejected. He's had fans of the game ejected out of the stadium for making crying gestures at him.
LeBron's a bitch.
Oh yeah, there you go. But I'm not. If you ask who's a tougher player, I say Jordan. Who I personally like Jordan more, but you can't deny what LeBron has done. All time he passed Kareem.
What are you talking about now?
Yeah, he's agreeing with us now.
No, I'm saying is that I like
Yeah, because he
Jordan
knows
better.
he's losing the
I'm saying-
debate in the
No,
group.
I'm saying 100% that
So
LeBron is better than
Ryan,
Jordan.
it's Joe
Namath.
Namath.
Jordan's
We need to get a time
better.
machine. We need to put Prime Jordan versus Prime
I think
LeBron.
you came out of a time machine.
Maybe. I don't know. At this point.
He was charging overnight.
Yeah.
Got him plugged in over here.
Yeah.
This is the new
But really, when you get down to it, Bronny
The
just
new
got sent down to the
everlasting
G League.
robot.
Bronny got sent down to the G
That is
League
true.
because he's not playing good.
You know who isn't playing good?
Who?
Tyrese Halliburton going
Oh my
0
God.
in 25
against
minutes.
the New York Knicks.
So let me
Bing bong.
before you continue on that, I got
Yeah.
a question.
Mhm.
Do you think that Bronny would have a chance in the NBA if it wasn't for his dad? The amount of social media
Nope.
influence
Not even.
Right.
I don't even know if it's social
and
media. influence.
LeBron showing up to his son's games in high school and everything else,
yeah,
and the
true.
looks. Do you think he would get the looks that he got,
No.
or the chances?
No.
If LeBron were to retire before this year, Bronny would still be at USC, and Bronny
Yeah.
would not get drafted
When he was averaging 6 in college.
unless LeBron were to buy a team.
And the thing is that LeBron, they lied so hard during
Make
the
him the
draft.
water boy.
When they lied so hard during the draft process. They said, "Oh, the
I'm
Warriors
always
were
well.
the Warriors were gonna draft Bronny." Everyone said because Bronny said, "Oh, I didn't want to
It
go
is
to the
true.
Warriors." You think that's true?
It's true.
You think that the Bronny went to the Warriors said, "I don't want to play for y'all," and then they just didn't draft him? Or do you think it's more likely that they didn't want to draft him and Bronny just made the whole story up just to think that people thought of him more legitimate as a basketball player?
And I don't want people to get it twisted. I think Bronny has skills to a certain level. I don't think it's NBA quality.
Oh no, he's
And
he's a solid basketball
and
player. Just
He's solid, but I also think that like LeBron James is, I mean, rightfully so. It's his dad, right?
Yeah.
So you got to give him kudos for that,
yeah,
right? Being his hype man,
Mhm.
right? But I don't think he belongs in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't think he has the skills to stay in the NBA. And I think a lot of it has to do.
I can see him going overseas.
there's a good shot.
Yeah.
Probably early. I don't think he'll go to Japan.
I can see in the next year or two, like he goes overseas to play.
Yeah.
Which may be a good thing for him. Maybe he can develop a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right. But I think that he was given the opportunity too young and didn't have enough of the skills.
Yeah.
Needed to.
He averaged 4 points at
Remember, yeah.
USC this year, and he went into cardiac arrest.
Exactly. A year ago, he went in a heart attack, and someone he's a year off recovery, and now he's on an NBA team. So
Yeah.
I just think it's a little reckless.
LeBron's going to retire within the next 2 years.
Oh yeah, he has to. At a certain, you hit a
'Cause
wall at a point.
Yeah. I mean, he just never hit what Michael Jordan did. So he's got to retire.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, so then what do you talk about Wizards Jordan to me and tell me he didn't hit a wall? He barely could average.
He was 46.
46. You look it up right
Was
now.
he not?
No, he was not 46. If you played at 46, then I don't know what to tell you. He was not. He got drafted in 85 at the ripe age of 21. You think that he was 46 in 2000 and something? He was not. When he played in the Wizards, he was not that old. I promise you that. He was not 46. I think he retired at 35. Just look up what year how old was he when he retired? Because I promise you,
He was about 40 years.
yeah.
So
not
he was
46.
40 years when he retired.
Yeah, and Braun is 2 years before that. And if you look at the stats, he's done more. So if say if he's 40 years old and LeBron's still putting up the number he is now, can we end this debate?
Well, how many years has LeBron played?
I mean, if they're the same, I mean, he got drafted out of high school at 18. Jordan went to go play college, so I mean, automatically, I think he hasn't played more than Jordan. But if you just do that, I think he's played more than Jordan. That's just me.
LeBron's been in 22 seasons.
How many is Jordan? You know, I think it was 16, 18. No,
15.
15.
So if you think about it,
Yeah.
LeBron just did that. He got the all-time points mark. What, year 20?
Yeah.
And this goes back
Last
to
year.
that GOAT argument, right?
Mhm.
Jordan played for less amount of time and
Yeah.
accomplished that, and LeBron couldn't.
Well, accomplish what?
Number 4 all-time points.
Number 4. Kareem's ahead of him. LeBron's ahead of him. Can't tell you who the third is. Wilt?
Yeah, is that overall?
Yeah. It's most points
Yeah.
scored overall.
Yeah,
How many?
But
LeBron's 7 seasons ahead.
yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, that's the thing is like LeBron really didn't start getting steam. Like he hasn't had steam for 22 full seasons.
I mean, I
There
can
were
tell
certain players.
2011, I could say he didn't do good, but besides that,
But I'm saying there's certain players that ended up leaving and moving on, which opened an opportunity.
yeah.
We're not saying LeBron's a bad player. He just he's not the GOAT.
Okay. You could have your personal opinions about it, but I can't tell you for straight face that LeBron isn't at 38 years old.
Don't get mad.
I'm not.
You're mad.
You
I
can see
like-
Ryan's eyes.
I like
He's getting
Jordan.
teary-eyed.
I mean, if it was my personal
He wants to
opinion,
kill me.
if it was my personal opinion, Jeremy.
I am not going to make it out of this.
If it was my personal opinion, Jeremy Lin would be the GOAT.
You're my sacrifice.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I do think LeBron is in the talk of being one of the greats. I don't deny that, but he's not the greatest of all time.
Okay. Can you name your top 10 for me right now, please?
No, top 10's too long. I can give you my top 5 right now.
I'm just
All
your
right,
top five. Then.
Go for it.
Top 5, right? All right, we'll go. Do you want me to go 5-1?
5-1, yes.
Number 5, Steph Curry. Number 4, Dwayne Wade. Number 3, LeBron James. Number 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 1, Michael Jordan.
That's a
Oh God. Dwayne Wade over Steph Curry?
Did I
In top-
say Dwayne Wade at 4?
Yes.
Flip him.
You want even Dwayne Wade being top 10 is crazy.
Dwayne Wade is one of the greatest shot creators
in
of
all time. You have Larry Bird, you have Shaquille O'Neal, you have Wilt Chamberlain, you have players. Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points, which there's video proof of that now. I did not know that, but there is video proof.
I don't care.
100.
He scored 100 points out of a bunch of
You don't even have
welders.
Kobe in your top 5? Tim Duncan?
I don't care. I feel as though Dwayne Wade. Give me your top 5, Ryan.
so mad right now.
He
Yes,
is.
because of
Oh.
all right, top 5 going 5. All right. He didn't even say anything. He didn't even say anything. All right. That's crazy. All right. 5, we're probably gonna go Bird.
Wrong.
Bird? All right. Well,
He's not top 5.
we don't know ball here, guys.
You don't know ball. Putting
Bird.
Larry Bird at number 5 is
Yes.
horrible.
Bird.
Putting Larry Bird
All right,
on
all
your
right,
top
I
5
don't
is
care.
horrible. Maybe play him
Bird
number
is
7 on top 10.
Oh my god.
Larry Bird, yes, top 5 shooter of all time, arguably top 3. Larry Bird, top
All right, fine.
5 player.
Fine,
of all
I'll be
time.
like you. Steph at 5, and then we'll go Kobe at the 4, Tim at the 3.
Tim at the 3 is horrible.
Yeah.
That is
You just don't know how
horrid.
good at Tim is. You have
No,
no clue how
that is
Tim Duncan
horrid.
is. Tim Duncan, yes.
I wouldn't put him at 3.
No.
He's definitely top 5. I do not care. Tim Duncan was one of the greatest players.
Maybe a top 20.
Top 20?
I'd give him top 10.
Thank you. I'll take top
Number
10.
11.
Top 20?
No, actually, top 15,
20
number
could
11.
still be top 10. I haven't
Oh.
put it in order.
Well, yeah, but you
But
said
he's
top
not
20.
top. He's not top 5.
I just don't. What's your top 5? I need to hear it. Because
Finish yours.
Finish
Oh,
yours.
well, LeBron and then Jordan. Yeah. Yeah. What? Oh, I
he's agreeing with us that you just put Jordan above LeBron. We've been arguing this whole time, and you still put. So the debate is over.
Yes.
The debate.
LeBron, MJ the GOAT.
The debate is over, and we're moving on to early injuries because holy cow!
MJ the GOAT.
like
Yeah.
that was
You still have to give us
exhausting.
our top 5, though. You have
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Real quick.
Wait.
You have to give us our top 5. Because if I hear, like, you pull out, I'll pull out. You're going to give me, like,
All right, so
Yao Ming.
I was a huge Bulls fan growing up. All right, Jordan. I'm gonna go 1 to 5.
Okay.
Jordan 1.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna bounce around a little bit just because I
okay.
defensive person. People
D-Rod. Yeah.
Dennis Rodman
100%.
like has been left.
It's in your top 5.
Has been left.
Dennis Rodman is a top 5 player. I don't
top
care.
5 for his game, especially at that time. And
I will agree. Dennis Rodman is the greatest rebounder of all time, but I cannot tell you he's in the top 5 players of all time.
I
Shut your
wouldn't say he's
mouth.
so top 1 is Jordan.
Okay.
Defense wise, 5 is Rodman.
Okay.
After Jordan, I would go Kareem.
Mhm.
Yes. Thank you.
After that, let's see. I'd probably go LeBron.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that.
And then 4, I'll go Curry.
Yeah, that's smart. I take
Like-
Kobe because Kobe
No,
it's-
I feel like Kobe didn't play long enough.
Well, Kobe was
he
Kobe
retired
was-
in 2016. He got drafted in 1997. Ooh,
Kobe was a great overall team player. We're talking about individual top 5, right?
Mhm.
Individual top 5 players.
Yeah.
I don't
right?
think
And
I
then-
could call Kobe a team player though. I think he shot way too
Well,
much.
no. Here's the
he was
thing.
a ball hog.
So when
was a ball hog.
when it was Team USA, right? Kobe brought a different dynamic to that team.
Yeah, no, that's
Right.
a good point. That's a good point.
So
I like that point.
Kobe took that team and turned their mindset and their spirit around. And before they walked out onto that court,
Mhm.
I forget his name, but he was on their team. He said, he's not my teammate today.
No.
And they walked out onto that court. He said, we're going to win this game. He's not our teammate today.
Who is
This
Kobe
is
had
our-
beef with?
Kobe
didn't like Dwight Howard.
Well, he didn't. No,
Kobe didn't like Dwight Howard.
It wasn't a beef thing.
Yeah.
It was just because they weren't playing for Team USA.
Oh yeah.
The team Kobe was a team
Oh yeah.
person,
Mhm.
right? And the passion behind that,
Yeah.
right? You can't deny him, and it's very close to putting him in the top 5 in a different way.
Yeah.
As a team player, somebody that is a captain, right?
Mhm.
A leader, right? And the passion for the game.
Mhm.
Amazing player.
Mhm.
But if you do an overall top 5,
Yeah.
like on and off the court, team, you awake over here?
Yeah.
Oh, good morning.
Mhm.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
And we're back.
If you do an overall thing,
Yeah.
Kobe's up there.
Yeah.
But an individual sense of like how many points and individual in the sport itself, I don't think he makes the top 5.
Okay. Well,
in that
I can agree. If you give me your reasoning, I can understand. That reasoning was pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good lawyer.
All right, so let's jump into the early injuries. Who's leading this off?
Kawhi Leonard out for the next 3 to 4 weeks with
And
a
it was a
knee
rough
injury,
one. It was before the season too. So
and PG-13.
both teams that really need those players, PG-13's knee literally just went back.
I know.
It was really scary.
Didn't he break his leg a while ago? Like he
had a
doing
pretty
the
bad
same
injury
thing?
in I think 2018, 2019.
No, it was a lot earlier than that.
2015 maybe.
Probably around there.
But it was a rough injury. And on top of all that, both those teams really need them. Kawhi with the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers are doing pretty well, by the way. Love the Clippers' new stadium. The Wall is a great idea. The Wall is a wonderful job. And I think that the Clippers owner is a definition of what a good owner should be. Being with the team, being with the fan base, actually rooting for the team, while other owners literally just sit above this high horse on this like high tower, like they're better than everyone else.
Yeah, he's been like on the wall, right?
Yeah, he was literally a leading chance on the wall, and I think that's really good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's one of those things where, as a team, I totally lost my train of thought.
The Clippers.
Oh, Clippers.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where, like, I don't know, overall, like the team has to not be Joe Namath or LeBron James.
Yeah.
Right.
They need to work around a team without Kawhi, which right now they're doing, which I'll take part of it. But also you got James Harden there. You got some pretty good talent on the team. It's just when Kawhi comes back, you have to be able to fit him in the system after working around not having him. Same thing with the 76ers. 76ers are currently also being investigated for Joel Embiid's injury because they're saying he's a bunch of controversy with that. But the biggest thing with that is when you look at the Sixers, where did they go from there? The process was a long thing, a very long thing, and now you have the talent and you're still not winning. I don't know what you do. I couldn't tell you.
Well, that's I think one of the big things when franchises build a team around a singular person,
100%.
right, with no backup plan.
Mhm.
I think Wilt was about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
He's just daydreaming over here.
Yeah.
Hello.
He got pretty heated in the top 5 and he used all his energy there.
Yeah, he got pretty heated. Well, at least we agreed on it.
Yeah.
At least we agreed that Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
It took a long time for us to get him to say that Michael Jordan was number 1.
Yeah.
It took a very, very long time.
Because it was 2 different eras. It's so hard to compare eras. It's not even funny. Like,
but it's not though.
2010's basketball compared to 90s basketball, defensive was a lot less penalized in the 90s, so you could get away with a lot of stuff on defense compared to the 2010s, 2000s.
But you have a lot of actors in the NBA now.
That's what I'm saying, is that now because the refs are way more stricter now, people try and get calls a lot more. Back in the 90s, you could slap someone to the ground, the refs would look the other way.
Ryan, you're just benefiting Michael Jordan.
That's what I'm
being the GOAT
saying.
at this point.
That's what I'm saying.
So you agree? He agrees.
Did I not put him in my 1? Did I not put him in my 1?
We got it.
We got it.
Did we not put him in 1?
He's been converted over to Michael Jordan being the GOAT.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ryan, say
That's
it
okay.
on live.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Put the
Hold on.
camera on.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Can we agree on, if you're going to agree to that, you might as well become a Red Sox fan.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I tried.
All right,
I'd
go
be
to
burned
camera
at the
3.
stake.
We want Ryan
Go
to
to me.
publicly announce, stare right into that
Yeah.
camera. In 3 seconds, you're going to admit that Michael Jordan's the GOAT. 3,
All right.
2, 1.
Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Second best player of all time, though, is Jermaine Lin.
You call him Jimmy?
Yeah.
You mean Jeremy? He said Jermaine. It's Jeremy.
Jermaine. It's his
You
full
called
name.
him-
It's his full names, I promise.
No, it's not.
I promise.
It is not Jermaine.
I hope so.
Look it up.
I'm
Dude,
like 40%
His
sure.
full name is
Like
Jeremy.
35% sure. Like 20% sure.
His
like
full name.
10%
Did you
sure.
say 10% sure?
About 4.5 now.
I think his brain started.
His real name is Jeremy Shuhao Lin.
Shuhao?
Shuhao. That's his
one heck
middle
of a
name.
middle name. I want that middle name now.
Jermaine.
Okay. Well, you know.
He called him Jimmy. Jimmy for
The
short.
insanity run will never be forgotten. Never.
Hey man, my name's Jermaine.
You can call me Jimmy for short.
Oh man, let's dive into this
Yeah.
Lonzo fall.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on there?
Lonzo Ball. Well, he was great. He was a really good player. He was a really great player. Had a terrible injury.
Yeah,
he
took a fall.
He took a really bad fall.
And
Ooh.
then
But then now he's back and he's not doing amazing. But for not playing basketball for 2 years and saying he was coming back like 3 times in public videos and then not coming back, he hasn't done that bad. He's averaging what? He's averaging 4 points a game. But his field goal percentage is 30%. But Coulter says that's because he hasn't put up that many shots.
he's put up 10 shots. He's made 3. His total stats right now are 4 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists in 14.5 minutes. Currently, his minutes are limited due to obviously him being down.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been.
It's a lot.
It's like Nick Chubb in the NFL. Like he came back from injury and they got to hold him down because Lonzo honestly is a key player.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what people say. People hate on him. I've always been a fan. Lonzo's a key player to any team, unless it's the Lakers. When you look at the Lakers, like when LeBron became a Laker,
it was really bad.
It was
really
bad because Lonzo lost that leadership.
Yeah,
spot. But
he's doing better. He got the recovery process could have been worse for him as a human and as a player.
I couldn't agree more.
But I feel like it's good for him, even if he doesn't do as well as he did before he got hurt. As a human being, being able to go back to the recovery thing. I mean, no one's gonna be like Adrian Peterson who tears her ACL and then has an MVP season the next year. But coming back to this and just being mediocre is really saying a precedent about what type of person you are, that you will be able to practice with that injury. You were able to come back, even though 2 years of not playing basketball. What is he now? 28, 29? He's pushing 30. And now he's still playing basketball.
What's wrong with playing sports over 30?
No, it's just
it's your age as you get older, especially a sport like basketball that really goes at your joints.
Exactly.
But what if you have good joints?
LeBron James.
Exactly. Kyrie
See,
Irving.
that's what I mean, though. When we get into the GOAT talk, I know we already described
Kyrie Irving, KD, James Harden. I can name you a bunch of players over 30 that are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Julius Randle.
My point is age.
Yeah. Some players hit a wall when they hit 30. 30 is
Correct.
kind of the benchmark of where
average
after 30,
average benchmark.
Yes.
But it's not a deciding factor. Like
the good players push through it. The bad player, not bad players. I say the players that can't push through it is a little different compared to the players that can still play when they're above 30. Because
Lonzo Ball retires in the next 3 years. Mark my words.
Well, yeah, because he's not like Dame, another great player over 30. It's
Damian
crazy.
Lillard.
It's crazy to think Dame's over 30.
You guys should put a list together of the great players over 30.
Over 30? I mean, right now I could just name you them. But one of the greatest, what is
he, encyclopedia?
I mean,
Right,
yeah.
just shut.
I know so many sports
Fluff
things.
up.
I could name you like the most irrelevant. PJ Walker, greatest quarterback ever in college, comes into the Panthers after Cam Newton and just is horrible. Rest in peace, PJ Walker.
He died.
Nope. He just stopped playing.
And don't say rest in peace.
His career.
Because you got a guy like Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins, another.
He was good.
We did this,
And then he died. Actually, rest in peace.
But for an entire segment during the Mystic Sooners, me and AJ
If
spent.
something happens to him,
It's Joe Namath.
it's
Joe Namath. I'm telling you.
It's cursed.
I'm telling you, he's gonna find me.
Right.
can't.
I'm the man in the
I should
black
dress up that
hat.
I should dress up as like Joe Namath
And
as
then
a
kill
ghost.
yourself.
Could that get rid of the curse? Is it like voodoo doll magic?
What do you think, Ryan?
I think there's more of like a sacrifice into the volcano.
Yeah, I think you have to fly.
Why are you putting your mic so low?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
keep
know.
sniffing it. Is there
I'm
like a
not.
good smell on
really-
it?
I'm sniffing the
I'm
mic.
not. I'm trying to sniff like the curse out and then just putting it all on him.
You know, it's more comfortable to be like this.
I'm
versus-
more comfortable like this.
I'm more comfortable like putting my nose right up against it and just rubbing it.
No, it's actually like I'm just.
That's
like
just
this.
kind of what you're
You
doing.
guys are gonna leave. There's gonna be a booger right on the freaking mic over here.
like,
But yeah, I mean the whole talk of Lonzo Ball.
mm-hmm.
I mean,
He could be better, but as a player, there's only so much expectations I can set upon you as somebody who hasn't played in 2 years, and you're coming from a very, very nasty injury. And from Lakers to the Bulls, it's been a rough patch.
He'll average 12 points a game this year.
If he can do that, I think that's worth it. I think that's what he should be doing is 12 a game.
well, I think the physical limitations for any player coming back from an injury, if those limitations are there, but their expectations, not just themselves, but from their teammates, right, is set so high it's unrealistic
because they expect you to play what you were like before.
Yeah, even they expect you're cleared. You should be playing here,
exactly,
right? And it's not,
but it's deeper roots than that.
Sometimes it happens, right?
Adrian Peterson,
but no.
Jason Tatum's going to be the East MVP.
That's another conversation we're not having.
Sorry.
Let's come on. All right, go ahead.
Because
I love seeing him getting fired up.
Okay, yeah.
So, well, first, do you agree with this?
Half and half, because I
give me your.
So did you say East Conference MVP?
Yes, it's the East and the West.
You mean like no, not for basketball. There's just one MVP. It is not like baseball terms. It is like one MVP.
There's not a Western MVP and an Eastern MVP?
No.
Oh, Jason Tatum MVP.
That's a little crazy. I think Nikolai.
It shows he hasn't been playing the fourth quarter, and he averages.
He hasn't been playing the fourth quarter? What do you mean by that?
Like, they've been taking him out because of how good the Celtics have been playing.
So then how would he win MVP if he's being limited?
Because of how many points he has before he gets pulled.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you the voters would choose for that.
Honestly,
SGA might be in the conversations for MVP with
Josh Giddey.
He's on a roster, guys. He actually did when they played OKC 2 nights ago. That was so funny. Alex Caruso. What do you think about Alex Caruso?
Did he ever play for the Thunder?
He is on the Thunder now.
Oh, it was the trade.
He got
right?
traded. Giddey for Alex Caruso. The two white boys.
That's what I thought.
Australian for
So I'm pointing out Quilter keeps rolling away again.
Yeah, he keeps running out of
Just
frame.
running.
Don't hit the plant.
I need to switch that chair out with just
I
at
just
the
need
bottom.
you just need to nail it to the ground.
Yeah.
Switch it out for like a match or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
half asleep. Tim Duncan's not that good, guys.
Ryan.
Yeah.
It's Joe Namath talking to you from Aiden.
All right. So where do you see Lonzo Ball coming? coming back from this?
Mhm.
Do you see him coming back from it?
Not to his full extent. Never. I can't.
Do you think if he does, do you think he surpasses what he's been capable of doing before?
Yes, because that how much emphasis I have to put on what? What?
No.
So you're telling me that if he does what he did before he got hurt, he's not better?
He does what he did before he got hurt. He's not better. He didn't progress at all. He's the same exact player.
How? He went through an injury and still was able to put up the same stats. He lost his leg, and you're telling me the fact that he's able to put up the same stats he was before.
Yeah, because he only has one leg, right, Ryan?
You know what I mean.
No,
I'm
I
being
don't.
exaggeration, okay? How about we consider the fact that Lonzo Ball, if he was able to do what he did before, it was really good what he did with the Lakers until LeBron came. You're telling me if he was able to do that.
He was not really good. He was okay.
He was okay. And if he was able to be okay with after his injury, I think that makes him a better player. Just as an overall.
Okay. That's your opinion. I just think Lonzo's a mediocre player. I like the guy.
He's a mediocre player, but being him to be mediocre after having such an injury is a good thing. That means that you'll be able to push through it. What are you, the ref now? You coordinating this?
I don't really know.
I honestly love like being just like, okay, he's fired up.
It'd be way better if we had AJ here.
Your takes are actually like.
Okay, you said Dennis Rodman was top 5. We are not going to
Dennis Rodman Dennis Rodman arguably.
Dennis Rodman is top 5 too.
Exactly. Dennis Rodman is a top 2 defender.
If we had AJ here, it'd be a whole different conversation.
There'd probably be a fist fight.
There'd be a fist fight.
Pretty much.
No, if we had AJ here, there'd be 3
he's
people
saying
fighting.
He's mad that nobody's on his side.
Exactly.
No, I don't. I'm saying is that Dennis Rodman
needs his friends.
Guys,
no, I'm saying it'd be worse with AJ here because it'd just be an all-out brawl. God forbid we mentioned I'm not Tim Duncan, Jason Tatum. It'd be a 2-1 battle trying to debate whether the Celtics are going to run it back.
They will.
Oh my God. That's what a Celtics
Derek White, baby.
Okay, I can't diss Derek White. After he got the hairline shaved, I can't diss him.
Exactly.
Yeah, you think the hairline had something to do with it?
Oh, 100% did he?
Aerodynamics.
He started playing aerodynamics.
Aerodynamics.
Exactly. That's why he's been doing so good. So if he grows the hair out again,
then
he starts doing
slows
bad.
him down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should have him grow his hair out again so he doesn't like drop 20 a night.
So what do you guys think? What do you think the next episode's going to entail and stuff?
Whatever happens next, we have
me
to
and
see.
Ryan Carvalho.
Do a name off. See who can name the most irrelevant players.
I want you guys next time. And I won't be sitting here. Hopefully, AJ is here. But
next time he misses it, he's fired.
Yeah.
And
we put him on the video call and like the bed. He's like, "What do you say about my Yankees?"
It ended up being the QLC Sports Podcast instead of the QBC.
That just doesn't have the ring to it that QBC does.
I know. It's a great name. It's a great name. But I do think as a follow up, you can't talk about it. You do separate stat analysis and research
on one exact player.
One exact player.
Who should the player be though?
A random irrelevant player from.
Random irrelevant player and compare them to LeBron James.
Dude, we should just get like a compare. Yeah, let's put Bernard King. Let's put Bernard King against LeBron.
No, let's go
DeMar DeRozan.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Oh God.
All right,
we're getting into scary territory.
You guys do the same 2 players on a comparison.
Yeah.
All right. But you don't discuss it until the episode.
Okay, like just straight to LeBron or
I obviously the Michael Jordan LeBron thing people have talked about forever.
Yeah. Oh, you want us to compare 2 players and make a case of who's better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 players, who's better?
Yeah.
They have to be obviously for the most part in the same playing position.
Yeah.
Right. If you got, you can't like compare somebody
like 1950s Plumbers era.
You can't compare Tom Brady to LeBron James.
Yeah.
Right. Because
Tom Brady would still be better at basketball than LeBron James.
That's a crazy take.
Yeah, it's true.
We're going to ignore it.
It's Tom Brady. He's the greatest athlete of all time.
Tom Brady's a GOAT.
Yeah, Michael Phelps, he won like 28 gold medals.
He can swim through the court.
Okay. Wait, what?
They just put
what?
He can swim through the court faster than LeBron James.
Exactly. Floating basketball. Basketballs do float.
That's like polo.
They do float.
Water polo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those games. The water basketball gets heated. I won't lie.
Water basketball.
Have you ever played pool
Olympics would be
basketball?
awesome.
Pool basketball gets heated real quick.
Who do you think? Who do you think would be the better water polo player, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Aiden Coulter.
I think Wilt Chamberlain. The taller they are, the better.
I don't think Ryan knows how to swim, so definitely not.
I do know how to swim.
Liar.
Thank you.
Liar.
I did know how to swim.
Arm floaties.
Mommy, look at me!
I can tread water. I actually got stuck once.
He's got one of those like unicorn like.
We had this Coast Guard inflatable boat, and it flipped over while I was in it, and I thought I was gonna die.
Where was this at?
My pool.
It's
like
The
a
Coast Guard. The Coast Guard brought their inflatable boat.
It's like a small little inflatable boat.
Oh, and it just represented the Coast Guard.
It's a stolen valor.
It said it on the box. Yeah, stolen valor. I was a 5-year-old. Drowning underneath it, and you said, "Did you serve?"
Your mom called the fire department.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't see anything.
You
here.
got a
don't see a
combat
military
action
idea.
badge for that.
You had a Purple Heart for that.
Did you serve, sir?
Instead of a Purple Heart, I got a triangle sandwich, tuna fish.
Oh,
That's basically.
so this kid right here is the reason I will never eat tuna fish again.
Really? Why?
So he in kindergarten, we were sitting next to each other. He ate tuna fish at school one day. He threw up right next to me. I have never touched tuna fish since.
He's trying to get away from the camera right now.
No, I'll admit to it. I won't lie. It happened. It happened.
I had tuna fish one more time,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like a month ago, and I felt horrible.
That's like mayonnaise in the coffee.
I actually feel like that would be good.
Now you change it. You said it wouldn't be that bad. Now you're saying it would be good. I don't believe
It's
that.
the same thing. I don't.
No, not bad. It's not good.
It's not that bad. It won't be that good.
Exactly. That's what I said.
No, you said it would be good.
Like it's
didn't say
the
not.
in between piece. Like it would be mediocre,
It's not that bad,
but it's not that good,
but it's not that good.
right? That sounds.
It's like a neutral.
Exactly. It's
It's
mediocre.
not like-
called
it's-
the middle.
It's not like something you would have all the time, but maybe it'd be good once in a while.
Like a dirty pleasure.
I don't know about dirty pleasure. There's better dirty pleasures than mayonnaise and coffee. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, list them.
I don't know.
Chocolate and ketchup.
I did. Okay.
It's like I nailed it.
No.
You tried that?
There's something. I'm
what's
not gonna
okay.
not pronounce this. Cake and marinara sauce.
What the fuck?
It's not that
Sorry,
bad.
excuse my language, but what
It's
the
not
fuck?
that bad. It's not that bad.
What brought you on to
What in
cake?
the
Because
Italian?
because I love marinara sauce with anything that's like bread. So I'm like, I wonder how cake would taste. So I try it. If you get it from Fireside, which has like a sweeter marinara, it tastes amazing because you have like a sweet marinara mixed in with a sweet cake. It tastes really good. I ain't gonna lie. At least I'm not putting solid food things, condiments in my drinks. All right, like butter.
Butter it's cream. It's milk. That's all butter is. It's
Okay.
churned milk.
Okay.
I'm utterly speechless. I've never heard that before.
Well, no, you.
Marinara and cake.
I thought
You don't
talking
need to
about
Do you
hear
take
butter.
the frosting off of the cake, or do you leave it like
Like
what?
Like
no, I
the,
don't pour it on. I dip the cake, like a slice of cake, in the marinara.
wait, do you just do
It's
this
an
all the time?
No,
Oh, okay.
I
It's
did-
an intention.
All right.
Hey,
it wasn't that bad. I just
Let me
thought
get that strawberry frosting cake and side of
they made a
marinara.
couple marinara with that.
You're at like a random cake shop.
It's the
By
most
chance, do
Italian-
you have a marinara cake?
You're right.
The filling in between each layer.
Yeah,
is
like a
marinara.
strawberry cake.
Yeah.
It's marinara.
That sounds. You're right. It does sound the most Italian thing ever.
It is
I love it.
like a
I embrace my
spaghetti, like a
heritage.
spaghetti pizza.
Yeah.
Like you can't have like just one or
No,
the other.
spaghetti pizza doesn't sound that good.
No, it does.
Sounds like it hurts my
Pasta on
stomach.
pizza works. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, mac and
So
cheese pizza.
you've
is
had it.
okay.
Well, mac
fire.
and cheese.
Okay, so let me dive in here.
Yeah.
Do pineapples belong
Yes.
on pizza?
No, we had this debate before.
No, we really didn't. We
Well,
just talked
me-
about it.
me-
Pineapple.
Me and
totally
AJ
belongs
did
on
at the
pizza.
Schooners
I don't
game.
care.
No,
Pineapple belongs on
wait,
pizza. I
wait,
don't
wait.
care.
We talked about the
At the Schooners
hot
game.
dog thing too.
Yeah, we talked about both of those.
Yeah.
Whether a hot dog was a sandwich or
But a
not.
Hot dog
Hawaiian
is also-
Hawaiian
actually,
pizza with
no.
fresh sliced pineapple.
So good.
Very good.
I don't believe in it.
You're the one that just said cake and marinara.
And you're the
I don't
Yankees
care.
fan here. I don't want to hear it from you.
You're right.
What's total?
Name any other player besides him because he's not hitting. Hey, give me
Anthony
like,
Volpe.
Clint Frazier. What do you know about Clint Frazier? What do you know about Brett Gardner?
Angry thumb.
He is the most crash out player ever. He threw a bat at an umpire about 4 times a game. I ain't gonna lie with you.
Not bad.
Brett Gardner had to be on some type. The way the veins popped out of his bald head was scary. I'm not gonna
Thought
lie.
you were about to say something else.
Yeah. Put that one on there.
All right.
Well,
I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah, that kind of wraps it up.
2 hours and 14 minutes.
To everyone who stuck through for these 2 hours and 15 minutes,
I'm sorry
thank you
and
very
thank you.
much. And
Trying to see a therapist.
Well, you definitely need one because you finally admitted that Michael Jordan
All right.
is the
y'all
greatest.
can have a celebration. Get some fireworks out.
We'll just have cake and marinara.
Yeah.
this was a great hard launch of the QBC Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Aiden Quilter, and thank you, Ryan Carvalho and Ryan Landry. Thank you, Ryan, for letting us use your studio. And everyone, good night.